pretty decent land to have.
It is a man land. It can become a 2/2, and you know, I don't know. I don't really know what a 2/2 is doing on this board at the moment, but it's what Jim's got.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Caleb is looking pretty darn good now with that Copper Code Vanguard joining the fray. So yeah, I'm not too sure.
It looks
here
like
where
Jim might
goes.
have to decide on whether or not he wants to be attacking to continue growing his Neem Pakal, and he chooses not to.
Oof.
So Neem Pakal on blocking duty.
Yeah, that's a rough spot to be in because on the other side of things, Caleb can now grow a Neem Pakal to 4. So we'd have to see a double block there from Jim, either with the land, the creature land, or the 2 creatures on board. Oh, and he's got Recruitment Officer and Hopeful Initiate. Hopeful Initiate's kind of neither here nor there right now, but Recruitment Officer with that 4th land can just be a way to pile on the pressure now for Caleb.
A really interesting spot here. So it looks like Caleb is going to go ahead and play Cavern of Souls, name Human, of course, playing a Recruitment Officer, and it looks like he's going to probably put counters on his Warden of the Inner Sky now, since his attacks are not that favorable.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start getting some counters. Once it gets 3, we take to the skies. Oh, Adeline on top. That's gonna stay there. That is an absolute game finisher. Like, if you want to end a game fast, Adeline's gonna get it done for you.
So Adeline's gonna do what? She's gonna come down. She is gonna be a big unit.
She's gonna be large.
She's also gonna be also making 1/1s as well, I believe.
Yep.
On attack.
Oh yeah. Oh man, she's gonna be so powerful. But yeah, I like this plan here from Caleb. Just, you know, put some heavy hitters in the way of any potential attacks and just get this Warden of the Inner Sky flying. Flying and scry. Oh, E.T. Nice. Okay. That's a decent pickup. I don't know if we'll see an attack, though.
Yeah, because the thing is that Jim can attack with Inti. Attack with Neem Pakal, get 2 counters on it. One from Inti, one from Neem itself. But then it still gets double blocked, I believe, by 2 3/3s. So really looking to draw one of the 4 copies of Get Lost in his deck, maybe?
That would be phenomenal here, as we're going to see Brushland discarded. Attacking creature is going to get a buff.
I believe it has to be a Neem.
I think Jim's a little frustrated. Oh, yes. Okay, great. Now, if Caleb blocks absolutely everything, but that is revealed, right? So Caleb will know about the Get Lost.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check the wording on Inti. Exiled Subcardial
So
Library. Oh,
I think that Jim
not revealed.
I believe that Jim was upset by the ordering on that, because I think if he put the Inti counter first, then he would have got an extra 1/1 from Neem Pakal.
Yes, yeah. Auto triggers are on by default on Arena, so good to just double check that if you are very specific about the way you want to order your triggers.
Caleb making a really heads-up block here, actually. In Caleb's spot, I would strongly consider just like triple blocking the Neem Pakal or double blocking it. But knowing that
I think the
Jim
Get Lost
does have
is
access
revealed.
To Get Lost.
Yeah.
That,
if that card wasn't revealed, then like if it was just a draw discard type situation with Inti instead of the exile, then perhaps we could have seen that.
I believe it's actually not revealed, right? Because we don't see the eye on it. Yeah. I believe it came from Inti. So the Get Lost is actually not revealed, but Caleb just playing around the fact that it is in Jim's deck.
Caleb does see it. I just checked.
Really heads up there.
Yeah, he sees it on his stream. So
okay.
Yeah, that is a little deceptive though, because usually we'd see the eye on a card if it was revealed, but the Exile Zone is revealed to both players.
I see. My apologies.
All good. All right. New cards, we're learning. Get Lost card.
Lost on there.
Oh man, but those map
But an absolute but an absolutely great draw for Jim nonetheless. Like, he really needed Get Lost exactly there.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, it was going to be game over because the Anima Call would have just gotten the block. So.
Oh, goodness me.
That's actually the best card in the deck. The removal spell.
Yeah, Get Lost is great. So things looking very good here now for Caleb D. Has the board presence, has the Adeline, has a removal spell, and has another scry and another counter from that second copy of the map token.
All right, it looks like some creatures are getting sent into the breach here.
Oh yeah, once more to the breach.
Leaving a few guys behind just in case.
Okay. Valuing the recruitment officer. I don't think it needs many more recruits at this stage, so it's just going to be a Nimpakal and the little hopeful
a very
initiate.
Conservative attack here.
You say
Caleb.
as 4 more creatures arrive. Reinforcements are here, buddy.
Jim taking the value blocks he can. Going down to 4.
Goodness me, what does Jim do here? I don't think there's much he can do with the amount of creatures that just join combat on attacks.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things about the deck as well is just the, like, once the board spirals out of control, there's not really much in terms of comeback mechanics to
no
sort
board
of
wipes.
steal. Yeah.
No settle the
There's
wreckage.
no board wipe. There's no like cheese win card. You know, like maybe like fly a guy or something.
Oh.
None of that.
Yeah. No Pegasus to give something flying. Nimpakal, though, is pretty large.
It is
like
large, and Jim can attack with it and make a bunch of 1/1s, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
do much.
The
Yeah,
1/1s
just
do enter tapped and attacking, so
Yeah.
Jim
Just
won't be
kinda
able to block with them.
Swing for the fences time now. I mean,
But,
that warden's not going to get big enough even with the... Yeah, I like that. Just turn things sideways, see what happens. Maybe he doesn't block, you know? That's always an option.
Yeah, maybe there's something that they're missing. This does give a Neem Trample, which is interesting, I believe.
That is a lot of damage.
He opted to give the +1 on a 1/1 instead of a Neem. That's interesting. I think that the trample on a Nimpakal would have been a little bit better, right? Because you just get more damage and...
Because, I mean, if it's just a block like that, it would have been, what, 5 damage coming through? And it's still a lot of damage he's taking, but yeah, I think Caleb.
Yeah, so I am reading Inti now. Inti reads, whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample until end of turn. So he could have definitely given trample to the Nimpakal, which is interesting that he didn't. So
the blocks would have been different though from Caleb's side. Like, I don't know if he would have had lethal. I'm pretty sure chat would know, so they can tell us if he unfortunately missed lethal there, but I don't think so.
It might have actually been lethal. I mean, I don't know how the blocks line up otherwise, but
yeah, we could do an instant replay later, but
yeah, it does look like he would have done 4 more damage, but Caleb gonna be taking the win here. Yeah. A little bit of overkill here from Caleb. Oh my goodness.
Overkill's the best kill,
13.
Betsy.
Perfect. You're right.
Nice win there for Caleb in the mirror match. And jumping in now to Corey Baumeister up against Amy the Amazonian. Looks like we're seeing some more white-red humans in the hands of Corey and Amazonian. Hey, this is the 5-color control you wanted to see, bud.
Ooh, we're finally getting to witness the insanity of the 5-color control deck. Actually, are they both on 5-color control, or what's that?
No. That's the humans deck. Kellen's the only green creature. Well, white-green creature. Plaza of Heroes gonna take care of Kellen here to protect, make it indestructible. Do we have a buff of some sort? I don't think so. Not in that humans deck. Oh, wait, Ganjo. Hey, there's some interaction. The one of. The one of fun of.
That's incredible. But
Atraxa time.
Amy is in a spot where I believe that value train is going to be rolling. Just infinite value here. So many cards. So
great hits, though,
what exactly does Atraxa read?
So
Alias?
Atraxa looks at the top 10 cards of your library, and you can pick one card of each type. Now, if you look at Amy's hits here, that's a lot of lands, 2 sorceries, and creatures. So she only gets 3 cards here, which is very unfortunate. Usually you want to hit at least 5 things with Atraxa.
I feel like it's enough, though, you know? Like, how much is enough?
I mean, yeah, she's good and all, but, you know. It's a 7/7 that could get lost here. Let's see if Corey is lucky enough to have one of those 4 copies in hand. No. Adeline and a name Pakal available to Corey.
I believe that Atraxa not only has flying and death touch, but I believe that Atraxa also has lifelink. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. Yep. She is there to stabilize.
An absolute wall of a card here.
Also has vigilance, so
Corey.
she protect and she attack.
You know, I'm actually surprised to see so many players playing this humans list because, once again, like the humans list just has so few interaction spells that like it's so hard to beat a single card like Atraxa without your copies of Get Lost.
Yeah, if you don't have a Get Lost, you are in trouble. So, you know, when the players can identify the list that the opponents are on, you'd think any single copy of Get Lost you are hanging onto for dear life, but as we joined this game part way, we don't know if any of those have been found yet from Corey's side of things. So, yeah, just going to sit and get hit by an angel a couple times. 2 hits from Atraxa.
What can you do?
Nothing.
Corey can't really do anything. He's running through all of the simulations in his mind, understanding that there's absolutely nothing that he can do, and he's gone.
All right, I'm out. Yeah, that is pretty much the only thing you can do in that situation. Amy survived.
Nice win for Amy and Team Aethel.
Yep. Surviving to the point that she was able to resolve that. Oh, look, it's our favorite bat. ×2. Isn't that nice?
All right, and this is our first time getting to see Lord Aethel playing, and Aethel is on the black-green.
Oh, no, I think
this black-green deck is actually has not been that popular, actually, in terms of choices from the players.
Yeah, I thought that deck was actually pretty solid. You know, you mentioned that the Rakdos deck, which is the black-red, also seemed very good.
I might get rid of this because we can remove
which one would you exile, Deathsy?
I don't know. That's honestly a great question. I would probably say the Shieldred.
Yeah, Shieldred's nasty.
I don't really know what sort of ways to get cards back is in the format.
I don't think there's much. Let's have a look at the Golgari deck. That is the color pair of green and black. There is Virtue of Persistence. There are those 2 copies, so...
Okay. So if the game goes extremely long, then Virtue of Persistence can start to reanimate cards from the graveyard back to the battlefield.
It's so gross. I love it. It's
one
of my
really
favorite
awesome
things to do
deck.
in Magic. Yeah, this
really awesome
list is
deck.
sweet. You know, and you got Blossoming Tortoise. That's one of the newer cards, being able to dump stuff into your bin. So just fueling that Virtue of Persistence. Hopefully not milling the 2 copies thereof.
It's so this black-green deck that Aethel's playing is very reminiscent of like the OG rock deck, you know, like just like a black-green deck with just value cards and removal spells.
Value time. So it looks like Aethel's trying to cut down something, but the only valid targets right now are the bats. So Control Z on that one.
Awesome to see Aethel playing Magic the Gathering, by the way. Like, Aethel is a really, really big name in the VTuber world.
Yeah.
Just absolutely awesome content creator and has a huge cult following.
It's been great, you know, seeing the people who
maybe they don't know
have gotten into Magic or are, you know, secret Magic fans for however long they have been. You know, Post Malone being one of the most notable names thereof, but yeah, some massive streamers, some massive sports stars. Magic is cool, yo.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like sometimes you wonder, like why, like how are these people playing Magic?
Okay,
It's actually
can I say
incredible.
this as
Yeah.
someone that
Sure.
got into Magic within the last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Growing up throughout the entirety of my life, I always played. Everyone had Pokemon cards. Everyone
yeah.
had Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Everyone had something. But you know what the number one card game you saw, no matter what city or state or country you lived in? Always Magic. Always Magic.
Crazy.
So-
It's the OG,
so
man.
it's kind of crazy how like even people that don't play trading card games, everyone knows the number one game is Magic, and they keep
Yeah.
coming back to it. I love it, man.
It is
Dude,
quite
that's
funny
crazy, man.
explaining to people,
There's no way
like
I
when you say, "Oh, I do Magic content for a living," and they're like, "Oh, what tricks do you know?" That's half of the people that I speak to.
Every Magic streamer needs to know at least one party Magic.
one
trick.
party Magic trick, yeah. Yeah, I like to
because
say
that
my
comes-
party
comes
trick is
all the
watching
time.
my money disappear each set. It's like, oh, cool, new cards.
That's a really good one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like when I first started playing Magic, or actually when I first saw Magic Gathering, I was like, "What is this game like?" Oh my goodness, it looks like not a game for me, right? Because I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh and other
Yeah.
card games.
It
at the
looked
time, like
complicated at
Pokemon.
first,
It
right?
is complicated.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no,
and I was
no.
like-
It looks complicated, but it's not once you learn.
Yeah. Actually, pretty easy to get into, and there are a lot of ways to play. Magic is
Yeah.
a very interesting game. It's a game for everybody in a way. Like, there are millions of Magic Gathering players, and all of them enjoy Magic in a slightly different way.
Which is
than
awesome.
Another.
I just want to say the coolest thing that I see. So, like, if you're in the F community, they always
There's
have
nothing I can
weeklies
do.
where they get together and
Literally
play
cannot
like
do
a Street
anything.
Fighter or something, right?
I can't even do
But
that.
every weekend, I live in Vegas. Comic book shop that I know of has Magic events on the weekends, just
Yep.
tournaments.
Yeah.
Which is, you guys have a community that will, it always grows. It's the
Yeah,
best.
it's great. It's wonderful.
It's crazy,
So, yeah,
actually.
if you are interested, if you're watching, you've never seen Magic before, take a look, see where your local game store is. There's a local game store finder on Wizards' website. Just Google that, you will find it. You know, go
Wait,
check
wait,
it out.
They have
Grab
a
a friend.
local game. They have a local game store finder. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah, because there's Wizards premium stores, you know, so they get like a lot of support and products and that sort of thing from Wizards themselves. So they're like the big, not so fancy, but you know they've applied, they've met the criteria, and yeah, go check it out.
All right, I'm just
They'll
going to
have all
say
the cool things.
MTG is gangster. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can go ahead.
Thank you,
all
Dylan.
right.
All right.
Oh,
Aethel looking like he's
Looking
going
good
to
here,
town
yeah.
with the bats. He's
bats, man.
He's
Sheesh.
yeah, he's basically Batman right now.
No.
Holy cow. All of those cards that are under the bat, so the bat basically steals cards from your opponent's hand.
Yeah.
And you don't get it back until the bat's gone.
Yep. Cheeky little thing. Unfortunately, no counters there. A pretty bad hit off of Rafine's ability to connive. So that's draw, then discard. But all lands, so no extra counters on the bats. But yeah, X is down to 9. And finally finds
I mean, they're
that
just gonna
fourth
just-
land. So Sheldred, the apocalypse cometh. Oh,
And it doesn't look like Aethel quite has lethal yet.
no.
However,
Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please, Sheldred. Please, Sheldred. Please,
I
Sheldred.
don't have enough.
Big, dumb Phyrexian. Come on, Eggs, I believe in you. Big, dumb Phyrexian.
Green?
Ow, don't hit yourself. Phyrexian,
Oh.
Phyrexian, no!
She took
I have no
she
please don't
took
do
extra
that.
damage there, unfortunately.
Children. Okay.
Okay. She did
Crisis
take one
averted.
damage though.
Yeah? It's okay. Nobody panic.
Unfortunately.
It's okay. Mama Sheldred's here. She's gonna look after Eggs. Nobody panic.
Magic
You got
can be a
this.
very stressful game.
Yes,
Sometimes.
I've never had my
You know?
heart beat so fast as it has in competitive
really
Magic that I've played. It's
Really
not
bad.
great.
Exactly. And
I mean, it
especially
is
when you
great,
first
but
pick up
yeah.
the game, like
Yeah.
Really fucking bad.
it is relatively easy to get into, but you know, like the more you play, there are a lot of complexities about the game. So
So one thing here for players who are wondering what the heck's going on, because you've seen Aethel try and cast Catan in response to Amy's thing. So there's this lovely thing called the stack and priority. And when a spell is on the stack, Aethel could do something silly like cut down one of his own creatures if he wanted to. So Arena always stops when you get priority. So you don't always have to do the thing that it's saying, hey, look, you could do this. Sometimes Arena gives you bad advice. It's that one friend who you love to bits, but sometimes their advice just sucks. So just keep that in mind. All right.
And that is one of the things that sets Magic the Gathering apart from other games as well, is that you have ways to interact on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
So it's not like a turn-based game where it's like, it's my turn, then your turn, my turn. It's constantly this sort of conversation of sorts between players.
Back and forth, like a ping pong game, you know? You have it, now I have it, now you have it, now I have it. No, it's not your turn, it's our turn, says every control player ever. So one thing he's got to be careful here with these Rafine triggers. If everything attacks, yes, that's a bunch of damage. He could have lethal here. But if he doesn't, he needs to be wary of the fact that Shieldred will deal 2 damage every time he attacks, or every time he draws a card, so...
The bats are going in. That looks good. I think the Rafine can attack as well, but again, he will get taxed from the Shieldred there.
This is the Planeswalker, right?
I kind of want to see him go for lethal, just, you know, YOLO. Swing everything, dump every non-land card. Because if he swings with everything, that's 4. Yeah, that's 4 cards, yeah. 2, 3, 4. Because it's 4 power at the moment. So if he'd swung with all 4 and got 4 non-lands, then could have had a pretty sweet lethal there.
True. I mean, and Aethel is sitting at such a comfortable life total as well.
Yeah.
You know. So he's got a lot of room to play around with.
Lots of wiggle room there.
Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Nice. Yeah, make it big and chunky. So yeah, 1 off a lethal. If only the little bat had gone for it too. My Gunjo doesn't do anything right now. It's just giving you the option to kill one of your attacking creatures. Again, don't always listen to what Arena tells you to do. It might hurt. 1 off a lethal, but yeah, this is looking pretty good here for Aethel as Eggs draws a Tear Asunder. Now, could we Tear Asunder a creature to get something of use back to stay alive here? This 5/5 needs to go.
One of the downsides of Tear Asunder is that if you actually do want to kill a unit, it's going to cost you 4 mana, so it's pretty expensive. All right, looks like Eggs is going to opt to activate the man land. Restless Cottage it's a 4/4 when it attacks. It's going to make a food token.
Yep.
But I don't think that is going to be enough to take down the bats from Lord Aethel.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, no extra card draw to get some more life off of the Shieldred, so just 8 points of damage coming through. Eggs does have the option to exile something. The Denic would be, in inverted commas, the correct thing to exile. But at this point, you know, all Lord Aethelstone has to do is just swing.
I don't know if any of this even helps me.
You know, when I first started playing Magic Gathering, I thought flying was so broken.
Like, how many times have you lost to Flyers Unlimited, Detsy?
Sometimes. Not that often. Not that often. But,
Evasion, good.
Yeah. But, you know, like, sometimes it's just so sad to see these Flyers attack over your ground creatures and you just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's a little sad, that's for sure. Gunjo is available here. The channel ability is discounted due to Rafine being on the battlefield. It is legendary, so could kill one of these creatures attacking with a block. So we're going to see the good old bat do its duty, kill the Shieldred. Just for good measure.
I love how animated Lord Aethel's
VTuber.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's really cool, yeah. What do you call it, their avatar? I'm not very au fait with all the terms of VTubing.
Avatar character? Something like that? All right. A little bit of overkill here, but Lord Aethel will take the win for Team Amazonian.
Very, very nice indeed.
Okay. The avatar is pretty cool, but I can't help but just look at the bouncing yellow person over and over again. That was pretty
Yeah.
I love it.
I was fixated on that as well.
It was great. Alias, we went through a lot of great games here from round 3 before
Yeah.
we headed into the playoff side of the bracket. And it was surprising, and it turned out to be pretty good towards the end. What were your thoughts about the matches we just took a look at?
It was great to see the mid-range decks getting a showing. The 5-color control list. Control, mid-range, big dumb things. That's also what I enjoy seeing in Magic, besides killing my opponent quicker so I can go and have a nap, But yeah,
Yeah.
I love seeing the things that cost more than 4 mana actually hit the board.
By the way, speaking of quicker, I saw the chat go on in the vote not too long ago about, speed, power, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I want to see who wins that one. Desi, it's been a good day for MTG, right? What have you really liked to see so far?
It's been a fantastic day. Honestly, my favorite thing has been watching these players who are new to Magic the Gathering come into the game, give it a shot, and
Yeah.
really check out why this game has been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
No, seriously. So curious, Desi. You saw the 5-color deck. Any thoughts, sir?
My only thought is that I want to see more of the 5-color deck. Like, I have not seen enough.
One thing that I really love when it comes to Twitch Rivals is a mini game that comes on after this break. You guys are gonna love it as well. But when we come back, the playoffs will be starting, and I can't wait to catch you there for more MTG Arena action. Welcome back to Twitch Rivals, where we are highly disappointed in you for not beating out that maze. But
Come
welcome back
on.
to it's your boy family. We got Alias B, we got Detsy, and Alias. This has been a pretty entertaining day so far. The
Yeah,
special
it's a great.
announcement earlier that we had in the show, plus the games and all. This.
It's cool. We should do more, right? Hint, hint,
every
nudge, nudge,
weekend.
wink, wink.
Please,
Okay.
please.
Cool.
Wink.
Cool,
Dempsey, how you feeling about everything today, my man?
It's been absolutely incredible. I think that the format is really cool. You know, having 10 decks provided and then players picking from those decks, I think that that's a really, really sweet format.
Yeah.
And also, the interesting thing is that the life totals, right? So, like, the points are calculated based on, like, the life totals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for tiebreakers, which
Yeah.
is something we don't really see in like the typical
No.
competitive scene. So yeah,
But it
Life
kind of
matters.
Pretty fun.
It,
I like
it adds a whole lot more because whenever you watch the pros lose, it's like, okay, but the casuals step up and win out and force a tiebreaker. And we haven't been able to see that in a big way yet. But as we head into the playoffs, I feel like things are going to get a whole lot sweatier. Speaking of which,
yeah.
let's take a look at the standings to see how everything has unfolded so far here for MTG Arena. And Aspiring Spike and Amazonian's team are top 2 in Group A so far. So that is great. Unfortunately, my man's Tectone, Amaz, Corey, and Eggs, they won't be
Corey.
making it. Right.
tisk
so,
tisk.
hey, salute and good luck to you all next time. Let's take a look at Group B. This is one I'm unsure about. Oh,
Hey.
Jimmy made it!
all right, so
We got through.
fight from the bottom and make it up to second place, where they will be advancing to the playoff side of the bracket, along with Nummy and Crunchess. Absolutely love it.
Heck yeah.
Kibler, if you happen to rewatch this broadcast, my man, I was rooting for you. Yeah, Dempsey. Here's the bracket. Which matchup are you excited for?
Oh boy.
Wow, that's insane. I'm very interested to see Newmont and Amy face off against one another.
Yeah,
I think
that's gonna be
Numi
great.
is going to be bringing the spice.
Alias.
So I'm hoping.
All right, Alias, my girl. Which matchup do you want to see first?
Oh, I gotta go with Newmont versus Amy. You know, she is scrappy. If anything, she is gonna give you one hell of a fight, and she's gonna make it look easy.
The one thing I
So-
will say, throughout all the games that we've seen so far, Amy's game, she's been popping off, man. Like,
Yeah.
she's the truth. For the semifinals as well, here you have it, the constellation bracket. These are the matchups that you will have at hand. How it's gonna unfold? Hey, I have no idea, but that Amaz against Caleb game is gonna be fire. Actually,
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I want to see it.
That is going to be fire. 2 streamers who have been around the block. Caleb, you know, his main game is Magic. Amaz, Magic is not his main game, but
He's very good
you
at
know, he's very, very, very good.
All right, now, when it comes to the playoffs, each championship and constellation playoffs will be played as a single elimination bracket. This is nothing like the round robin that we've seen prior to the games we're about to watch currently, so this is interesting. In regards to the deck requirements, for those of you that are just now tuning in, what took you so long? But also, there's 10 pre-constructed decks that these players have to choose, and the rule is you can only choose the same deck once, but that all resets now that we're back into the playoffs. Alias, this is where things just get a little bit more intense, and I love it.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because the playoffs as well, we have a similar situation where it's captain versus captain and then teammate versus teammate. But then game 3 is, you know, dealers.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You know, we're doing well. Go for it. You know, let's
Exactly.
just see who gets picked from the team. So I'm interested to see who gets to play in that final game.
All right, Detsy, question, my man. All right, the deck list is up there. You already know what it is. If you had to go into the first round of the playoffs, which deck would you bring and why? Lay it on us.
Dude, absolutely the most underrepresented deck that we haven't seen much of yet is, once again, the 5-color deck. Like, the 5-color deck, I think it honestly might just be the best deck. It has sweepers, it's got bombs, it's got absolutely everything that you... once again, it
Esper
is
Legends, bro.
a little bit hard
That's
to
probably
play,
the best
but,
deck.
you know...
Anyways, what about you? What about you on your end? What weapon are you bringing to war in the first round of the playoffs?
How much of an aversion I have to playing things on my opponent's turn, I'll probably go for an aggressive deck. And I would probably
like you.
pick the Auras deck, honestly. The Selesnya deck looks like it's a little stickier and it goes tall a lot quicker than the other aggro decks do, so...
But don't
Green
they
white.
just lose to the board wipes, though? You know, like these decks
Yeah,
that build
but
on a
they'll be
huge
dead
board.
before they get to 5 mana,
All
Dead.
right,
See,
all
that's the
right.
point.
I see. You make
All
a
right,
good
so
point.
for those of you in the chat, such as Overstrike, I want to give a big shout out to you, my man. Yes, welcome to MTG Arena here at Twitch Rivals. We have pre-constructed decks such as Red Green Dinosaurs, Blue Tempo, 5-color control, and a whole lot more. And the rule set, it makes it a lot more strict. We had an interview with Kawa earlier today, actually, where he was saying, you know, this is pretty cool and interesting. I'm used to all these other card games, but coming here and having these decks to choose from, I don't know what's going to happen. And we've all seen it right here on the screen. So this has been pretty fun. So here it goes. We're going to get into playoffs very soon. Deathsea, when it comes to the winner side of the bracket, which team do you think is the strongest team so far?
That's a really good question. And also, I don't remember who's in the winner's bracket.
Alias, who do you have? I'm going for Amy. Amy's been popping off.
Yeah,
lately.
you know what? Amy and I have been friends for a long time. I'm trying not to be too biased here or
Bias
anything,
caster.
but I think she's got she's gonna lay some beats down here. Let's see.
Right?
Yeah,
It's a big name.
and Amy is facing off against Newmont, right? So I think Newmont has a
so,
really,
yeah.
really good shot. Newmont is just a very flexible gamer, really, really flexible player. Like whatever environment you put him in, he is gonna deliver
Yeah.
the goods.
Right.
But
Well,
it's not just up to him, right? Because we have to see how good of a coach these players are. Not how good the partners are, how good of a coach they are.
yes.
That's true.
So wait, my question is, there was someone in the chat during the second round, they were saying, I wonder how much the pros are actually coaching their teammates when it's their turn to play.
Well, not during the games because they're playing concurrently.
Oh, yes. So,
Yeah.
okay, how hard did their teammates? That's something I want to know.
knows?
Exactly.
We'll ask at the end, I guess. We'll take that,
Maybe
right?
they just met today. That's very possible.
Right. Now with the GeForce Ultra players, the votes going on in the chat right now, this is a whole lot of fun. The giveaways have been spectacular. From the $10 gift and Dunkin' gift cards all the way to the chair that we could be giving out. Trust me, you don't want to miss any of that. But
I want it.
You want it?
I want it.
I just
Give it to me.
I'm gonna tell you now. I just want the $10 gift card. Give me my black coffee and donuts with the strawberry sprinkles, and I'm happy. Deathsea, I'm happy.
Give me the gamer chair.
Exactly. So moving forward, I will say as well, we caught out on a lot of names that we do want to see in the finals. One of the names that I personally want to see, and I'm interested to see how they'll do in the playoffs now. Obviously, Jim Davis, right? I mean, big name coming into the bracket, powerhouse type name, household name. He didn't start off as hot as we could have imagined, Alias.
Yeah.
but It turned out
Clutched
in the third round they were clutch.
Whew. I was getting worried there for a sec. I'm like, oh, all these big players that I mentioned in the intro. I was just like, well, commentator's curse. Sorry, guys. But yeah, managed to pull it through. So go Jim. I'd love to see Jim and Amy in the final. I'll just put it out there.
Can we please, as we wait, actually, production, if you do have the standings again, I want to see the brackets so I can write it down. I want to go ahead and have like a pick'em for myself, if that's possible. Yes. But Alias, watching MTG Arena here online with a $10,000 prize pool. In regards to the competitiveness of MTG, you can have it in. Oh, there we go. The brackets. All right.
Thank you, production.
Yeah, thank you, production. To finish the question, to see events like this online often, I mean, it just shows how healthy the scene is.
Yeah, and you know what's great? Like, Magic is a game that you can play whichever way you prefer. You know, it's a physical card game, so if you loathe computers and don't want to be anywhere near a mobile device and play online, you can just go and pick up some cards and go play at your local game store. You know, if you want to compete, there's ways to do that. But, you know, also digitally, if you wanted to compete in the Pro Tours or in the World Championships, for example, there is a path to the World Championships through Arena too. So, yeah, if you are competitive and you want to get into another card game and spend lots of time on it, then, yeah, give Magic a go.
That's actually insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out. Here's the bracket, by the way. I'm going to ask both of you. Alias, you first. Let's go ahead and have like predictions, pick 'em time, right? As we set up the playoff games. Aspiring Spike and Jim Davis, who you got?
I'm going to say Jim is winning this one.
Jim, okay. And then you
Yeah.
got Amy and Numo, who you got?
Yeah, and Amy. Jim and Amy are going to be in the finals here.
Jim and Amy, Deathsea. You're rocking the same thing.
All right, so I actually think that Team Aspiring Spike is going to be taking it.
Really?
Just because the non-pro is actually like a very good Magic player as well. So a bit of like cheats here, I think. You know, a little bit of tomfoolery here. He is a well-known modern player in Magic the Gathering. So so I think that they have a really, really solid team. So it's really going to depend on Pig, actually. If Jim Davis was able to coach him good enough to a point where he can take a game from Team Aspiring Spike.
I will say, though, Jim has definitely been coaching Pig. He did a video on it on his YouTube, so if you want to go check that out and hear about their game plan and stuff, it's pretty cool.
That's actually pretty awesome. And for the constellation bracket, where there's a whole lot of money. It's $2,000, by the way. First place in the constellation bracket gets $700. That's
take
insane,
that consolation prize.
I would take that any day of the week.
What sort of fairy tale world are we living in? You know what I mean? Even the losers get prizes. Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
This is Twitch Rivals, baby. We just having fun here. Let's go. All right, Detsy, your turn. Corey or Kibler?
Oh my goodness. You know,
which team you got?
I'm a big fan of them both. I personally think I'm gonna have to give it to Kibler. I think I think Kibler is like a really, really great teacher as well. You know, not to say that Corey's not a great teacher, but I think that Kibler is like very outstanding, like just outstanding in general. So I think that team has a lot going for them.
I feel like the knowledge you could get from Kibler could be so like too valuable. It's invaluable.
It's overwhelming, honestly.
Like it's a family heirloom now, you know.
It's kind of crazy, okay. And then coming back on camera, we had a lot of fun. Okay, the prize is going to be great. By the way, the championship playoffs, there's $3,200 up for grabs in this as well. So $2,000 for the constellation side, and $3,200 for the championship playoff side. I love it.
Very nice, very nice.
I love it. So moving into this, I'm unsure of which game we're actually going to watch first. But Alias, if you could have a cast a curse and pick the first game for us, which one?
Well, let's go with Amy's game. We're going to see Amy and Newmont.
Production, por favor, please. I would say I would love to see that as well. All right, Desi.
I think that's sweet. Yeah.
Would you be rocking for the same one?
I think I would also be rocking for the same one, but you know, I'm happy to watch all of these players play in. I'm, just again that Twitch Rivals is hosting another Magic the Gathering event, and we get to bring Magic the Gathering to so many people, especially new audiences as well.
Thanks for watching.
So, thank you for watching, guys, and also thank you, production. Thank you our sponsors, of course. And thank you, Twitch, for putting this on. Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And thank you to Wizards for organizing it. I assume they had a part in it.
No, big time. Yeah, everybody had a part in it, I believe. I actually have a question for you, Detsy. Living in Bangkok, Thailand, have you ever been involved with anything MTG related out there?
You know, that's a super interesting question. There's actually a pro player here who played on the last pro tour. Who lives in Bangkok, but I haven't been able to make it out to any events. However, every once in a while, I walk over like in a mall or something, and there's a card shop, and I see like foreigners and some Thai people playing Commander, you know, and playing Magic the Gathering, and I'm like, oh my goodness, people play Magic here? That's insane!
It's
Magic everywhere. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Alias,
but it's pretty incredible.
What actually got you into MTG? Curious.
So I started streaming in another card game and got hooked on it. Apparently, I really like card games. And my co-workers were playing Commander during our lunch breaks when I used to work in film and television. And I eventually plucked up the courage and I said, hey, can I play with you? So that actually coached me through my first game of Magic, which was really cool of them. And then from there, I discovered Arena when it was in closed beta, I think, and then open beta, and just got hooked. And Twitch chat actually taught me how to play standard properly. So, well,
Wow.
properly.
Twitch chat, please teach me how to play to the highest level. I promise you, I will love you forever. By the way, speaking of loving you forever, we love you guys forever, which is why we're going to send you some games shortly. Speaking of which,
let's go.
we will start off with Constellation Bracket first. Those games where you have Team Corey, Team Kibler, Amaz, and Caleb. All right,
Let's
go
go.
ahead and jump to the first one. Alias Depsy, take it away.
Alrighty, the players are into this matchup already. It is the Humans deck, and these players are in a mirror match here. And my prediction for this side of the bracket and the constellation side of things is the player with the MTG in their name. I'm just going to go with that. That's my prediction.
Well, you know what? I rooted for Amaz in the beginning. I'm still rooting for Amaz. I
gonna
hope
stick with
that
him?
they can get the
Cool.
consolation prize for sure. You know, like both teams are obviously great. And this mirror match, once again, very interesting actually, because they don't have that much removal. So
Yeah, this get lost is pretty clutch here, though. Getting rid of the opposing Adeline, allowing Caleb's Adeline to get in a big chunk of damage here. If we want to see this creature off the board, it's going to have to be a double block here, but I'm not going for that right now.
Look how
From
big
Amaz.
that 1/1 token was. It attacked as a 3/1. Absolutely incredible.
Oh boy, things looking good here for Caleb. Amaz not looking super hot. 3 cards in hand. Needs to remove this Adeline and get a creature down. Can he do both?
Favorite, even if there's a removal spell on
So once again, it looks like Amaz is probably going to need to get lost, because otherwise Adeline is going to make another 1/1 on attack. So
Yeah.
being at 2 life, okay, a get lost does come down.
Yeah.
Giving 2 map tokens over to Amaz.
Unfortunately, though, for
To
Amaz, Caleb has a spare copy of Adeline, so that is an extra attacker on attacks. Inti follow up here from Amaz. Does he have another 1-drop? Doesn't look like it, so just the map token. Copper Goat Vanguard revealed on top, so there will be a counter, but this is looking like Caleb's game.
Does Adeline also make a 1/1 when your other units attack, or does Adeline have to attack itself?
Well, let's find out. Whenever you attack, so it's any of your creatures. She can just sit back and, command the armies as she does. And that's going to be enough
And
for
it looks like
Caleb to
Amaz
pick that win.
popped.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's see how their teammates are doing over. Actually, we're moving over to another match. Jim Davis versus Aspiring Spike.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Adeline's to spare here for Aspiring Spike. Jim Davis on perhaps the Rakdos deck, which is the black-red list. We'll see as he plays a couple more things. But another Humans deck, so this is proving to be quite popular, this event.
Yeah, we're actually seeing a lot more than I would have expected. I feel like the Humans deck doesn't line up that well against these other decks that we've seen. So pretty surprised to see a lot of people running that. Adeline will be coming down here for Spike. And it looks like this board is going to spiral out of control.
Yeah. I'm feeling what you're feeling, friend, and that is a lot of damage to Jim Davis's face. Restless Bivouac gonna join the fray. This is another creature land, which is pretty cool. It's one of the cheapest ones to activate, becomes a 2/2, and puts counters on a creature. So, nice little way to go over the top of your opponent.
I love man lands. Oh my goodness. Man lands come back to Magic the Gathering, come back to Standard. Just
Yeah,
a
they're pretty
fantastic
sweet.
time. Appraiser
see.
hitting
Yeah.
a Harvester here. So he did build up a bit of a board. Adeline's still a big problem.
Yeah.
Adeline's going to be growing as well on attack.
Yes, indeed. So currently, Adeline takes up both of those blockers. I'll be curious if Jim has shenanigans afoot to be able to take care of this at a later stage if we don't see a double block here.
I'm leaving the other token back so I can murder this guy.
I think Blood Tithe Harvester is going to stick around, try and get another blood token perhaps to take care of the Adeline with its activated ability. Just needs 2 tokens though. Nice. And here we're going to see Warden of the Inner Sky getting a counter. There's another Warden. That's going to go to the bottom of the library.
All right. Well, one of the saving graces for Jim right now is that Spike actually didn't have a great follow-up there. So maybe there's a chance to actually stabilize. It looks like Jim has Alcazotos, I believe it's called.
Aclazotz.
Aclazotz, the Bat
Aclazotz,
God.
yeah.
5 mana, 4/4 lifelink, and basically if it dies, it'll be coming back very, very soon.
Yeah, if we can hit Geological Appraiser into another Blood Tithe Harvester, that's 2 blood tokens, which will allow him. It's not, unfortunately. It's Liliana of the Veil. But
Generally,
you know,
a pretty
not
powerful
too shabby.
card, but not that good when your opponent has a 1/1 token.
Yeah. You know, ideally she's on the board when there's no tokens, and this hits just the Adeline, but. Oh, are we gonna bivouac and sack that? Wow. Okay, I didn't see that coming. That wasn't on my bingo card.
All right, so Spike basically saying that I don't have another red mana anyways. I'm not going to be able to activate that in attack, so might as well just sack
True.
it off and keep my 1/1
Yeah.
in deck.
That's fair, yeah. I need
My
Pakal
goodness,
now.
This deck is making a lot of tokens.
Oh, and we've jumped into a different matchup now. Amazonian versus
Yeah, I feel
Numot
like
the
if
Nummy,
she's
so
activating
let's
a
see
map,
how it's
there's
going over
really
here.
hard to hit the land.
Again, the Humans deck being the favored starting deck for these players up against the Esper Legends, which is the white, black, blue color combination. Rafine Scheming Seer up against a bunch of critters from Numot's side.
Can I just say that I love watching Numot playing on his phone and just seeing the top of his head? Like, this is glorious, a glorious experience for Numot fans.
He's One Punch Man, right?
He is One Punch Man, yeah.
Yeah, and Rafine doing the punching right now, trying to find some action there for Amy the Amazonian. Hits an Urtai off the top of the library.
Really interesting here that Adeline didn't come down
Yeah.
in combat for Kenji.
Okay. Go for the throat. We'll take care of the Ward Giver, the Buffer in the Copper Code Vanguard, so just for 4 damage. And then the Get Lost will take care of this Rafine. That ward cost being a bit of a nuisance.
So I believe that Rafine has been a very popular constructed card
Oh,
in
yeah.
recent times, right?
Oh yeah, he basically, you know, was the pioneer of the Esper Legends deck. As soon as he was printed,
odds here.
that deck just took off.
Yeah, so Kenji showing a lot of respect to it, not even playing
Yeah.
one of his 2 copies of Adeline, just having that killed. And another Rafine comes down for Amy.
Okay, yeah, go for the throat. So impending death aplenty here. For Numot, there's an Urtai as well as that go for the throat in hand. So we're just gonna keep making Rafine a little chunky here to block these creatures if they should attack.
So what exactly are the keywords on Rafine?
So he's
Does
got
he
Ward
have-
1. It's a 1/4 flyer, and it connives. Whenever you attack, however many creatures you have attacking, it'll connive that many. So draw, then discard. Jumping into Aspiring Spike and Jim Davis here now. Jim has still kept that Blood Tithe Harvester around. Is down to 2 life now, though, so could be a game ending very soon here for Aspiring Spike.
Honestly, very impressive to see Jim still alive
Yeah.
in this game. So
Carnosaur. Oh man, do we not have mana for it? Curses. I want to see a dinosaur. Ah,
looks like we don't,
I see.
but the Alcazotas does have lifelink, so I mean, I'm surprised that he's been holding on to the Alcazotas, the Bat God for so long.
yeah.
Last cards probably get lost.
It is coming down
good.
now. So the thing is that this doesn't really have a favorable block on the Adeline. However, if Spike attacks with anything else, it will make tapped attacking 1/1. So Jim will be able to gain some life with a lifelink block.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. See, that's a bit of a tricky situation. You know, he just has to make sure he's not taking more damage than he would be gaining life. So effectively, he's at 6, can only take 5 damage. So when Adeline attacks, there will be another creature from Anim that'll make the gnome, and then the 1/1. So Adeline's attacking as a 6/6. So, excuse me, as a 6/4.
I believe there will be 3 tokens made, I think, because Anim will get a second counter.
Yes, you're right. You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be 7.
So Yeah, so it will be 7. So Spike is going to have to think about whether he wants to attack all or not, and if that makes sense.
YOLO.
All right.
Whee! It's my favorite button
Send
in
him
the
in.
whole game. Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't think it's worthwhile worrying about Liliana. That's a lot of critters coming down. We're going to see a chump block, a life gain
Right,
block.
and it
Is that
looks
enough?
like this can survive a
alive at 1.
All right. So, not
boy.
quite there yet.
Okay, oh, go for the throat. The sacrifice doesn't do anything here for Liliana. With Liliana, I mean, it saves 1 point of damage, but what do you do here in this situation?
I mean, isn't Jim just fine? I feel like Jim can just go for the throw on the Adeline, right? And just play a creature, and then...
Yeah, we got
and he's gaining a life
Munch.
here as well. And he's
Yeah,
got a
we-
life linker, so, like... I
life killed the
believe that the
Adeline.
human stack needs to draw, once again, get lost.
Yep. Needs to find a get lost, and I think we have to kill Adeline pre-combat so she doesn't get the trigger from the attacks.
Yep, but I love the way that Jim did it here.
Plaza of Heroes. I don't love that because that gives Adeline indestructible.
Yep. And
Oh.
so actually a bit of a punish from Jim. So I was going to say
Yeah.
that I do like Jim's play where Jim is actually not killing it until the combat step so that Spike, if Spike had a second Adeline, couldn't play it pre-combat and then attack and get tokens.
Yeah.
But the Plaza of Heroes coming down, being able to give it indestructible to the Adeline is actually a really huge punish. Like, you
Yeah.
cannot respond to the land drop.
You cannot, so that Plaza of Heroes will keep Adeline alive. Aklazot's, yeah, we're going to see the Graveyard Trespasser get chumped, well, be on chumping duty effectively.
I think
1, 2,
Jim's
3,
pretty unhappy
4.
about this, seeing that
Yeah.
Plaza of Heroes. I don't think that was on his radar. It certainly wasn't on mine. So
I would be real grumpy about that, but you know, at this point, Spike might just be happy to let it go and just play the other one out.
I like this block from Jim. I believe this is the only block that you can make.
Yeah.
Really.
It's the only decent block to go for sure.
I mean, another option would have been to actually put the Bat God on Adeline, and then if Spike goes to activate the Plaza for indestructible hexproof, then Jim could respond with go
Yeah.
for the throat.
But then doesn't gain life and would die, so the bat has to take the damage.
True.
Yeah.
So the Bat does have to take the damage, so that wasn't
Yeah.
in play. You're right.
Another Graveyard Trespasser comes in as a glutton, so that's 2 extra life points for Jim. And as that game's getting good, we're jumping in to see what's happening with Amy and Numot, who is on 1 at the moment. So tense moments
Looked like
here.
a close game.
Yeah. She's like,
Show me
have
what's
some
in my hand.
Rafines. See how many bats were in there. Or, excuse me, how many legends were in the bin there. Deep Cavern Bat gonna take a look in the hand, and we're gonna find
too.
Talia. Get out of there, girl.
Perfect.
Hey, Amy's pleased about that.
1, 2, 3
Oh, and a
legends.
flipped
I
wedding
can
announcement.
channel
Board
Odawara.
wipe or bust. We know there's no board wipes in
think
this
we're good.
humans list, so
Yeah, and it
think
looks
you
like
are good indeed.
Looks like Amy also has access to the Odawara as well, because she has enough legendaries on the board to make the Odawara cost
Yeah, 3
1
legends.
mana.
that's pretty gross. But, you know, Numot doing the only thing he can, which is turn things sideways here. So let's see how much damage she can get through. And what Amy does before blocks.
Man, you know, I've got to say that I feel a little bit disappointed in the Boros human stack.
Yeah.
I just feel like so many players were bringing it, hoping that it was going to be like a good choice, a good match against other decks.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like it lines up that well against decks that are just doing more broken things.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, the if this was a best of 3 format, traditionally best of 3, where you have access to a sideboard, I think then the white deck would be a little stronger if it can sideboard into some more removal, stickier threats, that sort of thing. But at the moment, it's just, you know, kind of dying to anything that's not doing the aggressive thing.
Look at Jim over here. We're back-
Surviving.
Yeah, we're back over, and it looks like Jim's stable. Look at Jim. Jim's looking stable. And once
Staying
again,
alive,
you know,
staying alive.
the aggressive red-white deck not really having the tools to deal with
Yeah,
creatures.
not closing it out here, unfortunately, for aspiring Spike fans. But Jim, sure hanging in there, bud. Woo! Just sitting there praying, please no get lost. Please no get lost. Oh man, and the Dracosaur in hand. Ugh, this is gonna be a rough couple turns here for Spike. He's got the Foundry, he's got 4 creatures on board. The Glutton attacking also his life gain trigger. This is another 4 life coming in from Aklazot. So this is just crazy, man. That's a stabilization
too.
if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and the attack basically ensuring that, you know, if Spike manages top deck to get lost, then at least you got the lifelink hit in. So,
yeah,
really strong play. I think that there's not much that Jim can die to here. Maybe, no, like
single copy of Aganjo's on the board.
Yeah, the tokens on the board are not even human, so they don't get buffed up by the human lord either.
Yeah. There's no way to cast Get Lost right now. So, yeah, if you see your opponent turning sideways when they were on 1 life, you know you're in trouble. Damn. 10-7. Jim is just sitting there hoping for no, Get Lost, please. 6 attack.
All right, it's a Get Lost.
Wow.
I feel like it has gotten to the point, though, that it's fine. Actually, I believe that Jim stabilizes life total. He's stabilizing the board. He's getting back the Bat God as well next turn, as well as playing his Bonehorde Dracosaur. Yeah, Dracosaur.
Oh, wow. Cavern of Souls, not needed on the board right now, so Spike will hold that as a what do you think I have? In for 6 points of damage here. Down to 4 goes Jim. No more life gain. Unfortunately, no second spell to flip the Graveyard Glutton back over, so there is 2 more points of damage coming. Or excuse me, 2 more points of life being gained by Jim Davis on the attack.
So Jim, I believe, does have lethal attack with his creature as well as
the Restless
Manland
Fence
is at 2/3. So I believe that will be lethal damage with the werewolf trigger.
Yeah, gain life, lose life. Chew on some creatures. Make sure you get those. Wow, what a game there from Jim Davis. Unbelievable
really nice
stuff.
Comeback.
That was impressive. Yeah, get him, get him.
Let's go, Jim.
Woo! Jim, making me sweat there, bro. Holy crap, that was cool.
He's pumped. You see him?
Yeah, I would be
He's going
too.
up.
Surviving in 1. Heckin' great stuff there. All right, Crunchess versus Lord Aethelstan. Let's take a look-ski here. It's Keenth, firstborn of Gishath, coming in hot. Do we have 2 mana to activate his ability to kill either Rafine or this 5/5? Let's see. Can't see behind the cam.
I love
think we
this.
have
I
that
love
one.
this. You know, it's our first time seeing Crunchess on stream today. You know, I just love to see what she has brought to the table and how she pilots this red-green Dinos deck. It looks like she is quite behind at the moment. Rafine getting through in the sky, life total, she's behind as well. So let's see if she can do it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like we had
Didn't look like she had extra mana.
the 2 mana. Yeah, I don't think she's got any mana available, so Eatskins could attack, but that would be bad news bears for our tiny baby dino.
So looks like there needs to be a removal spell very soon coming from Crunchess. I believe Triumphant Chomp is the 1 mana deal damage equal to your attack, like your biggest dino's attack. So it would deal 6 of the better draws.
Yeah,
for
there's also
Crunchess.
Bushwhack,
Yeah, there's
and
also
Triumphant Chomp. Those are the ones that she'd be looking for.
But oh my goodness. Lord Aethel has really, really big monsters on the other side. That token alone is already almost as big as the Hammer Skull.
That's a large friend. Yeah, that Schooner putting in work, huh? Making it explore a couple times there.
Yeah, the deck has a lot of ways to put counters on stuff, right? Like Rafine's putting counters on stuff. The Schooner's putting counters on stuff sometimes.
Nice.
Wandering Emperor can put counters on stuff, I believe.
Yeah, and give it first strike, which could be relevant here.
You may activate her loyalty abilities.
All right, a lot of options here for Lord Aethel.
Oh, I'd love to see this in combat.
+1/+1.
That's like big brain plays, right, for a no player. Is do that in combat before blocks. The 6/6 is like, aha, I chomp you. No, I strike you first.
Exactly. So it's basically using a planeswalker as a combat trick, which
Yeah.
you don't really see often.
Yeah, Wandering Emperor is pretty strong like that.
We'll be okay.
All right, Lord Aethel trying to figure out what his best play is here. All right, he's going to go ahead and main phase it.
Cool. Ah, so many choices. Good old Planeswalkers. So, counter, first strike is an option, or can make the board a little bit wider.
Something to protect. Now we
Yes.
Ooh, he sees it.
Nice.
Very
Lovely.
nice.
All right. So if this was a coaching moment, I guess, for newer players, then it would be just that cheeky little, do it in combat. They won't see it coming.
Yeah, exactly. But, still looking pretty good. Aethel
Yeah,
has to
this is
decide
great.
on how he wants to attack.
let's just swing for the damage.
Are we going to crew? Nah. Just swing. Yeah, you got them Flappy Birds.
Guys.
Oh, gross. And then Rafine can make... Well, he can probably make himself bigger. Because yeah, there you go.
Looking good.
Goodness me. This deck is so silly.
And bong?
Yeah, I like it. Just dump them. Make some big things.
I would like another.
Because if you get out of range of the Bushwhack and the Triumphant Chomp, like,
True.
these dinosaurs aren't going to do anything against these creatures.
I think you can only have one.
So he's deciding if he wants to keep a second Wandering Emperor. So he does have one on the board. It is legendary, so you can't have two at once. But,
Yeah.
if you're expecting the other one to die, you could hold on to it. It looks like he's going to go ahead and discard it.
It's been too long.
Yeah, I mean, so far ahead right now.
There's no way he's gonna block with his
No reason to hang on to that.
He has
And being a 4/7, like, Bushwhack, does it add power? No, it doesn't. Triumphant Chomp doesn't add extra either, so... This is rough.
This is pretty rough. And the thing is that the Rafine is just lethal on its own next turn anyways, so without real removal spells in the deck, especially
Yeah.
ones that will kill a 7
Well-
toughness thing, it's going to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah. So Rafine is out of range, but the 6/6 can still be taken care of with a Chomp or a Bushwhack, provided the Pugnacious Hammerskull survives.
Yeah. Holy shit, brother.
I don't even know what Pugnacious means. Chat, what does Pugnacious mean?
Is that something
Ouch.
relating to like pugs? Like the dog? I don't know.
It's provocative. It keeps the people going.
And that's about it for us, guys.
Oh my goodness. You're an educated man.
No. that was the Kanye song. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Either. I'm gonna Google it right now.
Okay.
What's the word again?
Pugnacious. It does sound like it would have something to do with dogs. No removal, unfortunately, for Crunchess, so do or die time right now. Rampaging Raptor does have haste. Can't get through the 6/6, though, and the Huntsman's Redemption doesn't do anything relevant at this point. Man, that's
Looks
rough.
like a relatively close game, but no real options for Crunches here, unfortunately.
Yeah, this
We're just
Esper
gonna go through the
deck is it's
motions
just
here.
too good.
Yeah. It looks really good, actually. Like, a lot of really, really powerful cards, whereas, like, the Dino deck has powerful cards, but they're not, like, broken, you know?
Yeah.
Cards like Wandering Emperor, cards like Rafine, just some of the best cards in the game at the moment.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, I was just chatting to some of the players beforehand, asking them, which decks you liked, and most of them said, well, basically the ones that are iterations of the ones that were played at the World Championship, which makes perfect sense, Best players playing the best decks.
I think it's a very interesting decision as well, of coaches letting their players play a certain deck, right? Like, for newer players, you might be like, okay, well, maybe they'll do best with a simpler deck, something like Red Green Dinos or something. But Amy being like, all right, you know what? You like this Esper list that has a lot of interactions with a lot of weird stuff? Just go ahead and play it.
Give it a
looks
go,
like it's
yeah.
paying off.
I guess in that regard, because the other players are less experienced, if they're up against something that they don't know how to handle, that's actually a pretty clever move from the coaches.
Yep.
Aha, big brain plays. All right, so all Lord Aethelstan has to do here is wing.
Oh no!
No,
You don't want to
crew
crew
it.
that, yeah.
Just go. To combat, sir. Get him. You gotta fight
Unless he kills him
for
here,
your
he
right.
probably shouldn't fight
Whee!
that. Just kept the hexproof.
Rafine will do the thing, become a 5-5, and swinging for the win for Team Amazonian. So looking very, very strong there indeed.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right.
Great
By the
stuff.
way, Crunches was able to clutch out a really big game earlier on, but unable to
Oh, yeah?
clutch that one out, unfortunately. And for you, Alias, pugnacious means eager or quick to argue, quarrel, or fight.
That's me then.
Wow.
I am pugnacious.
My middle name is Pugnacious. Welcome back to the desk. It's Belly. We got Alias being also Death Sea and Death Sea. Semifinals round 1 went underway. We saw a lot of great games. Jin Davis was celebrating, so that was good apparently.
That was crazy.
How did you
that
like
was a
that so
crazy,
far?
crazy game. Whew.
It was.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Like I love close games like that. I love seeing someone basically reverse it, flip the narrative on its head. So yeah, couldn't be happier with how that one turned out, and I'm pretty sure Jim's happy with that too.
Yes, and also I wonder how the Constellation Games went down. We will find out shortly. But in this MTG Arena Showdown with $10,000 on the line, we're finally in the playoff side of the bracket, and also the Constellation playoff bracket, where both of these teams are playing for a total of, I believe, $5,200, $2,000 in the Constellation side, and $3,200
Yeah.
in the playoff winners side. But also, there were tons of amazing plays left and right in today's event, but only one of them has the power and speed to be our GeForce moment. Let's go ahead and see what it was. We gave the chat an opportunity to choose which one that they wanted, and as we all know, it came down to power. And take a look at this. Crunches with the clutch.
Yes. Wow. At 1 life, cut down and preacher in hand with a trumpeting Carnosaur in exile. Let's see what she hits. Discover 5. Graveyard Trespasser. Another creature on board here.
Wow. What an absolute close game as well. She's on
Jeez,
1
to
health.
4, yeah.
And managing to make a comeback against the very, very aggressive mono red deck.
Yeah. Excellent stuff there, and was down 20-3 at one point, but didn't let that concern her at all. And in for the win. Excellent stuff there. That must have been stressful. Yeah, look at her face. She's like, oh, I won. Yeah, I know
That's
that feeling.
amazing.
We should have done the picture and opened it up to see her face once more, but also that's a reminder. That's the type of high performance that is worthy of being our GeForce moment. And also with that, Samsung, oh, you're going to like this, will contribute to our next Twitch Rivals Mobile Showdown fund to reward creators at our next highly anticipated event. This GeForce moment was brought to you by Samsung and powered by the new Galaxy Z Fold 5 with an expansive screen to master gaming on the go. Me personally, I travel for a living, so that sounds great to me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring you guys back in on the desk. And Crunches being
Love
down
it.
3-20, Alias, that's...
Yeah.
At that point, I'm conceding the game. I'm not even trying anymore. I'm done. I'm done.
Well, that's how you lose games of Magic Valley, because it's not over until your life total hits 0, unless there's a card that says you do not lose the game on the board. But there's not in this situation, so yeah.
Hey, and we're also going to see how far these players are going to go. Remember, we are in the playoff side of the bracket. We're going to give the commentators and the players a short rest as we head on over to a break. But when we come back, we're having more MTG Arena right here on Twitch Rivals, baby. We'll see you soon. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're all so beautiful. You're currently tuned in to Twitch Rivals, and today we're playing MTG Arena Showdown presented by none other than Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. I'm Veli. We got Alias V. We also, Depsy, we saw it go from nighttime to daytime
Yeah.
where you're at. What
Good morning.
time is it there right now?
It is currently 6:30 a.m. Good morning, everybody from Bangkok.
Alias, this man's sleep schedule is going to be destroyed.
Oh,
no one's going to be more destroyed more than me if Jim Davis doesn't win this event. So with that being said, we're going to have the bracket coming up very soon. But Alias, it's been a pleasure meeting you in Deathsea, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you better.
Likewise.
You guys have been amazing when it comes to
been great
commentary.
hanging out.
But right, Alias, I'm going to need your help, okay? Let's go ahead. Let's take
Okay.
a look at the bracket, and let's see what has unfolded so far.
Yeah.
Right now, you are absolutely correct with your
Where's my
predictions.
prize?
The finals,
my prize?
You called it. Amazonian
I did.
and Team Jim Davis will be matching up to win it all.
Look at me go. I'm good at my
Man.
job.
It looks like I was wrong 100% of the time on today's cast. Which, you know what? Consistency is a skill.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I mean, you're consistent. I mean, hey, maybe over there is opposite day and you've been right the whole time. Have you ever considered
Yeah.
that?
Precisely. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I can consider a career in cursing people. He'll pay good money for that.
There we have it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the finals. Team Amazonian, they've been fantastic so far in Alias.
Yeah.
Watching Amy on screen, I think it was the first player that we had on screen. She has been just outright just good. She's winning
She
everything.
just loves Magic, man. She
Yes.
plays so much,
have a
so
question.
often.
How
Yeah.
tall is she?
She's small. I could pick her up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's 5 something. I don't know.
Well,
But yeah, she's strong. She could pick me up too, actually, now that I come to think of it. So
She's very athletic.
There
Very.
we go. Now,
Very.
speaking of being strong, ladies and gentlemen, you beautiful people in the chat, it is time for the State Farm Spotlight, where we shine a bright light on something special from today's action here at MTG Arena Showdown. And let's go ahead and see who won that spotlight today.
whoa, what's happening here?
Sorry, take
Oh my gosh, the
Amaz.
board's Amaz's board is ridiculous.
Goodness me. Okay,
There's
cool.
so many-
How
This
many
is looking
cards
pretty
does
good.
he have?
That's a lot of
Yeah,
tokens.
so in Magic the Gathering, there is no board size limit like other games. So, you can just have infinite tokens.
Well, you
And,
can break arena if it hits like the what's it, the overflow thing? I don't know what it's called, but
Something integers, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
This
Some-
is like
some
Jon
smart person in
Snow
chat
in
can
that
tell
one
you.
scene where he pulls out the sword against all the people.
That's pretty nutty. I mean, you can block as best you can. Those rats cannot do anything against the swarms, so that's a lot of damage coming
Good
through
night.
there. So yeah, that's a
Wow,
nice feeling.
it's very weird to see Amaz win a game.
Good night, sweet prince, and
weird.
shout out to Amaz. But before we get back to the gameplay, let's go ahead and shine a bright light at one of our big sponsors and one of our good friends at State Farm. And whether in game or in real life, like a good neighbor, you guys know the jingle. Da-na-na-na, State Farm is there. I would like to say, Alias and Detsy, that's probably the best jingle I've heard on TV. That's actually.
I think so as well.
It's
I
so
think so
I
as
don't
well.
watch
Like,
TV, so
it's
I
so
don't
catchy
know.
and it sticks in your mind. It's ingrained in every American's mind.
I'll
You know, like you
believe
see
you that.
State Farm and it just plays in your head, rent free.
I think that they should bring back the commercial where the guy had a fishing pole and he was like, "Oh, you got to be quicker than that." That's one of the greatest commercials of all time. I love it. But also, as we move forward, it is time for the finals. Now, for those of you, we have Jim Davis, we have Team Amy. Do you all have any predictions on how this is gonna go? Oh, the consolation bracket finals as well.
Ha! I was right again. The 2 teams with MTG in their name. Look at me go.
Well, I'm still 100%. I'm still 100% wrong. My consistency is very, very on par today. Very,
Good
very
job,
strong
bud.
today.
I love
Thank
it.
you, thank you.
Listen, your cast of curse has been working alongside Alias's predictions. So
Yeah, so do you guys want me to pick the loser? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Let's see what you get with this one. In the finals of Team Amazonian and also Jim Davis MTG, my man.
Oh my gosh,
If you
man.
win this,
I've got
way,
Dude, that's ridiculous. I've got a passive ability. I will have to say that I think Jim is gonna take it. I'm sorry, Jim. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Alias,
I owe
you've
you a
been
beer.
right this whole time. You've not been wrong. Who do you have winning the
Now
finals?
I'm going to cause a bit of a rift in the space-time continuum here or something, because I also think Jim's going to win. So I don't know what's going to happen now.
Team Jim, I am okay with that. And in finals, it was between Caleb.
Corey and Caleb, yeah.
Yeah, Corey and Caleb. Ooh, who you got for that one? I really
Go, Corey!
I really like Corey. Yes,
He's my
yes.
booth bud. I need him to win something. Come on.
So all right. So Alias and I were Team Corey. That's it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna join us, or are you just gonna act different today, man? What's the deal?
I am gonna act different, but I was already gonna act different before you guys picked. You know, like I am rooting for Caleb. You know, they're both awesome. They're both amazing.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
great.
these guys to death.
Awesome dudes.
But you know, I'm gonna root for my boy Caleb. Caleb and I, we've been on the stream grind for so long together.
years, yeah.
Late nights is basically our shift, like late night U.S. time. So, you know, I'm hoping Caleb takes down this one.
Okay, we're gonna find out. Oh, Alias, you have something to add?
Oh
on?
no, I was just gonna say, like, besides Corey being my broadcasting, but he's also having a baby real soon. So
Wow,
kids are
big
expensive,
congrats,
yo.
man.
Corey, congratulations to Corey. Congrats to Corey in the chat. Babies are expensive, so Corey needs that rivals money for diapers. So.
Yeah,
Does that make
precisely.
me a bad person then? Like, I'm like, take the money away from the babies. Oh my goodness.
And by the way, if you guys want to do it, I'm going to do it as well. You've already seen me do it with my Twitch Prime. I'm going to go ahead and send Corey a sub for diaper money. That's my support.
There you go, yeah,
A
for the
great
diaper.
player that made
Awesome.
it to the finals. So, with that being said, Alias, small question as we get the lobbies currently started, okay?
Yeah.
Going into the finals now, you have one chance. This is it. All the marbles, all the bragging rights, all the money. Which
Yeah.
deck are you bringing in to the final and last game?
It's gotta be that white, blue, black deck, man. Esper Legends, they're so good. It just does it all. It puts creatures out, it kills things, it maintains board control. It's just too good. I think that's the deck that you need to beat.
As long as it kills things, it works for me. I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
right. I like that. Best analysis. Depsy. What you rocking with? What weapon are you bringing to the final fight?
Man, you know, I feel like I sound like a broken record, but man, people pick up the 5-color deck, man. Like, seriously. I do agree with Alias. You know, I do agree with Alias. The Esper deck is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
It has been an overperformer. It's been destroying these red-green dino decks. It's been destroying the humans decks.
Yeah.
But I think that the 5-color deck actually has an edge over everything else. Like, the power level of the 5-color deck is through the roof, so.
Okay, I like that.
It's
That's
gonna be
beautiful.
interesting to see.
Right, so as the players currently get ready in the lobby, I just want to remind you all that welcome to Twitch Rivals MTG Arena Showdown, where these players have been playing for $10,000, and the players that we've seen on screen have been amazing. From a 3-20 comeback win from Crunches to a lot more big plays, and seeing even the one and only Kibler. This has been such a fantastic day. There's been 10 pre-constructed decks that these players had to bring to the table, and they had to do their best. And their best got them to this point right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the finals of the MTG Arena Showdown presented by Samsung. So, Desi... oh, sorry about
Let's
that.
go!
Yeah, Desi and Alias, take it away.
Woohoo! Alrighty, Caleb D, MTG, up against Corey B, MTG. I wonder which card game these two fellas play most. We got the
Yeah, and
Rakdos deck
once-
here, bud.
And once again, we are in the consolation finals, so this is going to be the losers bracket finals, and there is still a lot of money on the line. Caleb with his Rakdos deck, I think this Rakdos deck has been pretty solid. It has a lot of tools to kind of beat everything. It's got spot removal, it's got good bombs, it's got good value cards, it's got Shieldred.
Yeah.
You know, so Really, really nice deck. It looks like Corey is going to be on the Enchantress deck.
Yeah, that's sweet. This is the green-white deck, or Selesnya. That's the color pair. And basically, these little critters don't want to see any removal. And there is 2 pieces of it in hand here for Caleb. So Corey is going to have to try and spread out his threats and not dump everything. You know, you don't want all your eggs in one basket, as it were. Little, generous visitor, getting in for 2 points of damage. It buffs itself every time you play an enchantment, which is great. And the Jukai Naturalist makes all your enchantments a bunch cheaper. So, if Corey is able to fire off multiple threats and just make these pieces of removal redundant, that's going to be a good winning strategy. But first things first, go for the throat. We'll take care of the good old Naturalist to get rid of that discount.
Yeah, Caleb has a very, very tall order ahead of him. He has to piece apart everything, and you know, as we can see, he only has 1 more removal spell in hand. So we'll see just how well his cards line up. Creatures themselves are also kind of removal spells, you know, like they contest other creatures as well. So maybe with the powerful creatures that Caleb has, he can try to dish it out. All right, Jim Davis versus Amy in the championship final match.
Yeah. So these are happening at the same time concurrently. Just a reminder, you guys can go and jump into either or any of these players' streams. Go and cheer them on. Tell them that they're rad. Go give them your Twitch Prime, whatever you fancy. And 5-color deck, Detsy. 5-color deck. Amy's playing it.
Amy is my hero for this tournament, to
There
be
you
honest.
go.
Like, nobody else had the courage to bring the 5-color deck. Only Amy.
Oh, man. But this is a great turn 3 here for Jim, as he's going to cast Rafine's Scheming Seer, who will be able to crew the schooner, which can start making this chunky boy, well, he's got a big butt. Gonna make it even bigger.
Really, really cheap
here.
crew cost on this.
Yeah,
this
right?
schooner.
One?
21.
That's crazy. And it's a 2-drop? What the heck? Yeah. And there's a connive trigger? What the heck?
That's a lot of triggers for no reason.
You like triggers? Here, have some more. Bat. Oh man, the bat is the hero of the day. If I had to pick, this bat
think
has
so
put
as
in
well.
work.
Just a really, really awesome Magic the Gathering card. A bit of power creep, you know, like Magic cards back in the day didn't really have flying and a 1/1 lifelinker attached to it. So just really, really powerful stuff here. Ooh, a battle. So this is a card type from March of the Machine, which actually we don't really see that much of these days. I believe this is the only deck in the tournament that has a battle in it.
Yeah.
So
Domain
a really interesting card type. Basically, if you knock off the 3 counters on that battle, then you get to flip it, and then you get some extra bonus on the backside of it.
Yeah. There's a couple of battles that were introduced. None of them are super, if put it like that. And that battle most of the time is just there to get lands. This deck wants to go over the top of the opponents as quick as it possibly can. Deep Cavern Bat's going to take a peek in hand here, and that Nissa or that Herd Migration, I believe, are going to go die very quickly.
So Amy's hand right now is actually not
I'm
looking
completely wrong. Heck yeah, Jim Davis is like, no, I don't want you to have an angel that can kill the bat, essentially, and get back whatever it would take. So heads up play there from Jim. See, this is why he's in the finals and we're sitting in the booth.
Yeah, that's a pretty good rule. That's a pretty good rule of thumb in general. Take the thing that actually kills the bat, so that they can't kill the bat to get the thing back.
Yeah.
All right, 6 damage coming in. Rafine's trigger is going to be happening as well. So Jim's going to be able to draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, and put counters on stuff. So super good start here for Jim.
It's looking
the
great.
saving grace for Amy, even though Amy doesn't have any in hand, the deck does have 6 board wipes in it. I believe that there are four copies of Sunfall and then 2 copies of another sweeper.
Depopulate, yeah.
Depopulate, that's right.
There are also the 4 copies of Leyline Binding. You mentioned that cool little interaction where you can cast it for just 1 white mana, depending on the basic land types in amongst your lands.
Yep.
Oof, but yeah, Jim is just putting on the pressure so much here. It's board wipe or bust for Amazonian.
If they miss the freaking.
All right, a deep cavern bat. So Jim is deciding if he wants to play the bat or not. I feel like, okay, so basically in Jim's mind right now is that the only way that Amy can come back is if she top decks a board wipe.
Yeah.
And a deep cavern bat doesn't really contribute to the game plan at all, right? So like he can play the bat and take a card, but what's it really accomplishing? So he's basically deciding if he wants to play it or not, and he opts to play it.
Don't
You know,
hate
like
it.
like a bat after a board wipe doesn't really do that much.
It does,
anyways.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant at that point. So here he's just making sure that this Nissa doesn't come down, this herd migration isn't cost. Just basically taking this game away from Amy entirely.
Yeah, and once again, it is a best of one. You know, like all of these
Yeah.
matches are best of one, so you know, you only get your one shot. So
So don't miss your chance to, I don't know, because opportunity
Do I
comes.
have
Something along those lines, yeah?
yeah, all right.
Mom spaghetti, something in there. Oh, hey, leyline binding. Okay. Oh.
Leyline binding, not bad. Looks like Amy's gonna go ahead and start with cycling
Yeah.
this
Has
proving
to-
ground.
Has to find a board wipe sooner rather than later, but can do the cheeky thing. Well, it has to pay for. Yeah, it has to pay for ward if we want to get the Rafine taken care of.
You have the angel.
How much is the ward on
It's
Rafine? Is
one.
it ward 2? Oh, it's
Ward
ward
one.
1. Okay.
Yeah.
Leyline binding does have
Too likely
flash,
that he
I
has a
believe.
counterspell
Yes.
doing
Is
it now.
true?
So
Yeah, okay.
could do it, but I believe there are counter spells in this
Okay.
I'm in
Esper
danger.
deck. Yeah, there's a couple. So doing it now to ensure that she's not just dead on board to a full out swing here for
Just like
4
on the,
creatures plus the connive triggers.
Yeah, the good stuff off the top. Yeah, I would have had to pay life. For
So
Nissa.
Jim's
That's
play
why I
with the
didn't
bat
pay,
really paying off. Just being able to get another thing on the board
6. You know, Urtai killed
means a
next turn.
lot here.
Yeah, doing
Urtai
some quick maps.
resurrected.
Yeah, Urtai is pretty nasty. You know, it's a counter spell or it's a kill spell, so
But you get-
just
I mean,
depends
you get
on
life or two,
when
we're supposed to
it's
find
useful.
this.
But Subterranean Schooner, doing good work. And there it goes. You don't
Maybe
often
it's
see a
getting
Wandering
a
Emperor go to the bin.
True, true.
Here's the land.
Good
Right, it looks
grief.
like Amy is down to 5 health here, and I think that
Board
with this
wipe, board
Urtai in
wipe.
hand,
Yeah.
being able to counter a
Yeah,
board
I
wipe
think we're
or being
golden.
able to counter Jim's best, being able to counter
Amy's
Amy's
best
best
stuff,
play,
yeah.
Cycle.
it's going to be probably lights out for Amy here, unless there's some sort of a
Land.
miracle that she can piece together.
Yeah, no, that's not going to do it, unfortunately, for Amy the Amazonian, as Jim is poised to take this matchup here against Amazonian. Now the two teammates also are fighting off against each other, so... And there will be a third
doing
game
it
to
now because,
decide
like,
the
maybe
winner. So
the,
it's not over yet for Amy fans. We'll have to see how Lord Aethelstan is doing up against Pig.
Another leyline binding off the top for Amy. It's going to be able to exile one of these bats and get a card back. It looks like she's going to be getting back her Archangel of Wrath. All right.
that's
She
not
does
gonna
not have
last
enough
very
to
long,
play
though.
it. Yeah, she does not have enough to play the kicker on it, but she just plays it out as a lifelinker.
Yeah.
Urtai coming down. And that looks like it's going to be lethal damage.
Yep.
It's going to destroy the Archangel of Wrath, and it's going to be 5 on board for Jim Davis.
That is it. That is all she wrote for this matchup between Jim and Amy. Jim taking it down, just getting the Pious Apparition out for good measure. Schooner going to crew that. I've never seen a spirit drive a boat before, and that is it.
All right, Pig.
Jim Davis picking up the win against Amy, so now they look to their teammates to hope
Okay.
that
We
Pig
gotta go
can
into
make
the,
it a
the
clean
final
2-0.
round. All right. So the final
Pig
round-
versus Lord Aethel. Gonna be interested to see how that turns out.
Right.
Yeah.
Flashbang on your screen.
Yeah,
Betsy. How's
Detsy,
it
you
going?
are like angelic, my guy.
He's
Good morning, my friends.
The angel of Bangkok, Thailand. Welcome back to the desk. We got Valley, we got Alias. We also have Detsy. And Jim Davis able to pull out a big win. Now,
Yeah.
this was really big because we now know Pig is going to go against Aethel. And one thing I understand is Aethel has been an absolute dog, Alias. Like, Aethel has been disgusting.
He's been playing pretty well. I'm quite impressed if this is like his first introduction to Magic. Like, yeah.
Really?
If,
Yeah, really.
I think so. If it is.
I believe so
I'm
as
not
well.
positive,
But
impressive.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll have
so
to check in
we
with
actually don't
Amy if
know.
there's an interview.
But you know, one thing I will say is that all of these players who have been coached by the professional Magic Gathering players, they've all done an exceptional job.
Yeah.
You know, picking up the game, getting into the tournament, and with everything on the line, just trying their very best with the very limited knowledge and limited amount of time that they spend in the game. Awesome.
Essentially being thrown in the deep end, yeah? So,
All right. Okay, so there we have it. Team Jim Davis and Team Amazonian 1-1. So we're waiting for, what is this, the tiebreaker?
there's a final game then.
Yeah, the final game, yeah.
So
Let's go
we're
ahead
going
and
to
get-
the third game. Oh, okay. We're getting all the action.
Yes.
Hey.
Elias, I know you were especially excited because you called for both of these finals, and now this is the esports special, the last round on the last possible attempt, and that's going to determine who wins it all. You couldn't have
Nice.
wrote a better script.
Yeah, I mean, we've been adjusting the script as we go, but things are looking pretty good so far, you know. How else would I predict the brackets like that?
Desi, how do you see things turning out after we saw that first round?
I think absolutely amazing. You know, I am looking forward to see who actually takes the win in both the losers bracket and the winners bracket. You know, everyone has done an absolute spectacular job staying awake
awesome.
and just getting through the tournament itself. Tournaments are
Need some-
very,
need some
very
more coffee
stressful,
there, bud?
you know.
We need Duncan to airdrop you some more coffee at this
Yeah, yeah.
point.
Dude, I would love some Duncan right now, man. Oh my gosh. I would love Duncan. I would love Samsung Galaxy Z, a full 5, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, just send it all over.
I think floating phones are the coolest. So I don't know about you all, but since I travel a
cool.
lot, I have this weird problem where my backpack I always have a laptop, I have a cell phone, and a tablet, and I always wish I had one of those folds, like the Fold 5, so that way I was able to have a tablet and a phone at the same time. Like
Yeah.
that type of stuff is useful, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean,
I just think
like,
it's cool. I don't know, like, bring me back to the flip phone era. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
essentially a flip phone, you know? Like, modern
When
day
you
flip
hang
phone
up
is
on
awesome.
someone, it feels good, you know.
Hey,
I don't want to talk to you, spam
The
caller.
attitude.
Yeah. Feels good.
It's the absolute best. So once again, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. We got Gillette Venus, Verizon, Fidelity, State Farm, Duncan, and last but not least, Samsung Galaxy. And today for MTG Arena Showdown, it has been an absolute blast as we currently wait for the tiebreaker game between the last two players right now. It is all going down. The constellation is just about done. The playoff finals is just about done. And we are waiting on that action to go underway right now. And I'm hoping for Death C's sake and his overall health that we do see that multicolored deck very soon.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, Amy has been the only one brave enough to bring
She
it.
tried it, yeah.
It didn't pan out for her in the last game, but
She did it for you.
you know, she did it for me. Thank you so much, Amy. Appreciate you.
Hearts.
You're a real one.
Right? Other than that, though, it's all going to come down to this. I wonder, so for the last game, I was looking up the rule set right now. Is it just going to be the pros against each other?
Well, it's their choice. So
Their
if
choice.
they're feeling real ballsy, they send in the teammate up against the captain. But, you know, you could just throw a spanner in the works and just be like, hey, let's just go both of the amateur players, you know? Why not?
If I'm Jim
Let's have some
Davis,
fun.
I'm sending Jim Davis in. I'm leaving it at that. If I'm Team Amy, I'm sending in Amy in, okay? That's my coaching call of the day. But it actually will be cool to see the casuals go head to head.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Right.
Yeah,
I
team's
will see that
choice.
as well. You know, there is money on the line, however. So, like, you know, winning is not a bad thing either. Sometimes.
Yes, big time. I'm getting an update from production right now where
Yeah.
we have the decks for the final
Ooh, the
game.
choices.
Are we allowed to say this out loud, production? Please? Please? I don't want to ruin it in case one of the players are watching. But as you all see the choice right there, Team Amazonian or Team Jim Davis, who do you think might have an advantage in that matchup?
In that matchup,
In that matchup, yes.
Team Jim.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest here. Jim has been on the grind for a long time, and also Jim is a sweat. You know, like
very
he
much so.
really like puts his mind and soul into the game to win it. Whereas like Amy's a great player as well, of course. But Amy is like here for fun, you know, like she's all about
Chilling.
the vibes and she's playing,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just chilling. You
Right.
know?
But sometimes
So,
that throws the sweaty players off.
I think so as well.
True. If I don't know what I'm doing, how are they gonna know what I'm doing?
Exactly.
That's my new.
That's
Never
my
let them
tactic.
By the way, I'm gonna give a big shout out to Sean, the automator in the chat. He says, it would be cool, but this is a lot of money on the line in regards to the substitutions for the last game, right?
That's true.
I agree. Let's sit in the pros. And by the way, I believe the decks are chosen. So, Team Jim Davis will be rocking with the black-green mid-range deck. And Team Amazonian is rocking with a red aggro deck. So, hey.
Yeah. Let's see if red deck wins.
Right. You know, I want to see. I want to see Amy have her redemption match and just win
Yeah.
this one. Go crazy.
Let's see.
And speaking of which, the game is starting right now. Hey, Alias, Depsy, take it away.
Let's rock and roll,
Ricky, here we go,
friends,
folks.
as
Final
we
game.
are going to be
All
following along here with
cards.
Jim Davis playing the Golgari, which is the black-green mid-range deck. We see two pieces of removal, which is going to hurt this mono-red deck, which relies heavily on creatures getting in and getting the job done quick here for Amy.
And we draw a land.
I will have to say that I think that the mono red deck has all the tools it needs in order to go over the top from the value stuff from the black green deck.
You think
Terra
so?
Sunder coming down, yeah.
Oh, man.
I do think so because the removal suite in the red deck actually lines up really well against the black green deck. We have 4 copies of Lightning Strike.
Yeah.
We've got 3 copies of Witchstalker's Frenzy, which deals 5 damage. And all of these really line up well against Shieldred, lines up well against Glissa. So
Yep.
Hair and booty.
I
And the
do
Muscle
think
Dread
that-
Knight. I agree with you there, but you know, the removal runs out eventually. So the longer the game goes, it typically favors the mid-range decks or the control decks, and that's where I think Jim will be able to just turn the corner and pick up the win. But we did see a couple of removal cards in Amy's hand. We also saw Squee, the one of fun of, in the deck. So yeah, let's see where Jim goes from here. Does he put something out on the board or just wait for creatures to kill?
I assume that Jim probably just wants to develop a creature, even though there are 4 copies of Lightning Strike in Amy's mono red deck. You know, Lightning Strike deals 3 damage to the graveyard Trespasser, and Amy didn't make a play this turn, so Jim is just kind of wondering if he should play Liliana instead. But I think that this is still the correct call.
Yeah. Now there is a ward cost. You can see the blue shield over the graveyard trespassers, so Amy will have to discard a card. You know, mono red decks are pretty used to being hellbent or, you know, not having any cards in hand. So let's see where we go from here. Is it Squee time? Sure is. Hey, bud. Whee! It's Squee!
Squeak!
I've been waiting to say that. Sorry. What's nice about this, though, too, with Squee up against a Liliana, for example, is usually Liliana would just come down and take care of the creature, right? But with 2 creatures there, Squee would stick around pretty well.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how far Magic the Gathering has come. Back in the day, actually around the time that when I started playing Magic about 10 years ago, Liliana the Veil being one of the best cards in the game. Period. These days, like, Liliana is still good, but she's not broken or anything.
No. Like, there's definitely extra words that have been added to Magic cards.
Land 4. There are no 4-drops in this deck. So
As we're going to see Mosso Dread Knight taken care of here with the Play with Fire.
Monster Dread Knight does have an ability, though.
One more land, we can
Jim is
cast
able
the
to
Lightning Strike or Lightning
adventure,
Bolt from the
to cast that
graveyard.
as an
Now we'll just
adventure.
get base.
From exile and
Face
draw a
equals
card,
play.
lose a life, and then be able to play the Monster Dread Knight again.
the more
It is
spells we
very
cast, the more
expensive,
likely I am
though,
to bring
so
out
Jim
Squee.
might opt to go with a more efficient line.
Yeah, that's Mosso Dread Knight.
Even
Was a
if
really
Squee is
nice
gonna exile the
inclusion
fuel
to
for the
the black-green
adversary
decks.
the other way around.
And I remember seeing a lot of players were very excited about it when it was printed.
Paying the
And
light.
we're going to see that. Dread Whispers. Draw a card, lose a life. And Amy will love to see that. As the aggressive deck, she wants that life total as low as possible.
Jim got to figure a way how to sequence all of his cards in order to just make sure that he doesn't die.
Yeah,
game.
don't die. Pro tip here, friends. Lightning Strike will take care of this Mosswood Dread Knight. Or will it? Is that going to go face instead? Let's get a swing in here. Attack with the 2/2s and then send the lightning strike upstairs, perhaps.
Out me way.
Yeah, no, let's get that out the way. I like it. Adios, friend.
Stop
Hit
drawing
yourself some
cards.
more is what Amy's saying.
Die.
As we're going to see 5 points of damage coming on in. Down to 7 goes Jim. He needs to stabilize here and quickly while Amy is
We have enough
hellbent.
to bring out Squee next
Pretty good
turn.
strategy here from Amy. There's a lot of direct damage in the deck, a lot of ways to go wide, and I believe that she is able to get back Squee
Yeah.
by casting it with its alternate casting cost.
Yeah, it just needs
And,
4 cards in the bin to exile
yep.
it. But she's got that, so that's good.
She's got exactly enough here.
Man, this is
So,
a rough spot now for
Jim-
Jim.
Yeah, Jim's not going to really be able to go wide enough, and his life total is just way too low.
It's plummeting now, yeah. So Mono Red seems to be, right now, the correct pick for this final game here between these two players, Jim Davis and Amazonian, 2 of Magic's most prolific streamers. They're awesome to watch. If you are new to Magic and you want to go and have a good time, these are 2 excellent players to go and hang out with for sure.
Yeah, really excellent players who are really devoted to the game.
Yeah.
I would say, like just pouring their blood and sweat into making
Yeah.
awesome Magic Gathering content. So they deserve the world.
It's great to see them both in the finals here playing for all the marbles, as this Master Dread Knight is going to deal more damage to Jim and Painlands off the top. This is not what he needs to see. He's down to 6. He needs to stabilize here. Get another land down, get a creature, and start killing stuff. Otherwise, it's good night, sweet prince, as Veli said earlier.
It feels like Jim is likely just dead without much way of coming back here.
Yeah.
Let's see if Jim is going to be dead on this turn exactly. Amy has one thing in mind, and that's just to go face.
Yeah, face.
So,
Go face.
yeah.
That's a great tactic there. As we see Squee hit the board before combat, we'll likely see Squee killed again. Take 3 damage here from the attackers that Jim can't block. And then hope like hell that he finds some removal for the remaining 2.
I like it, sending the 1/1 in as well.
Yep.
Basically saying that if Jim blocks the 1/1, then Jim will go to 2,
Yep.
which he will die to a lot of spells in the deck.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe Play with fire.
Play with
in the
fire,
deck.
lightning strike, anything kills him at this point. A stiff breeze could get him, and that is exactly what this deck wants to do. Another haste threat in hand, Mishra's Foundry to the creature land available to Amy. So Jim needs to find removal and dudes, maybe some life gain. I don't know, maybe another 2 games after this. I don't know how he wins this, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you know, I was a little bit worried about Amy's start because Amy's start was a little bit slow. Like she had a 1-drop on 1 and then 2-drop was just pass holdable
Yep.
lightning strike. But everything ended up lining up pretty well. Jim was going for card advantage with a Monster Dread Knight for the lack of a better option.
Yeah.
And you know, we're gonna watch Jim slowly lose the rest of his life here.
Yeah.
His life total here with a bunch
I
of
mean,
cards in hand.
Passing all the way through.
Goes for the Liliana, tries to stay alive at 1, but there's a Charming Scoundrel in hand that has haste. So that alongside the Mishra's Foundry and the Bloodthirsty Adversary, I don't think Jim has 2 removal spells in hand. So let's get a champion crowned here, it seems, Detsy.
Looking real good for Amy. I don't think.
Wicked Roll, yes. Wicked Roll 2.
I don't think there's gonna be enough.
Goodness. Because that's an extra point
Yeah.
of damage. So 2/2/2 across the board. If that Charming Scoundrel dies, it's another point of life lost here by Jim Davis. So does he respond now? He's got a cut down. Okay, so that takes care of that. Charming Scoundrel will die. He can pop up a... Oh, he's still alive at 1.
Oh, he is
He's
alive.
still
at
alive
1.
at 1. And we've seen him come back from 1. Mishra's Foundry, you're going to jump up, likely to take care of the opposing Mishra's Foundry so that this... Oh, okay. Bloodthirsty Adversary is going to get taken out.
Top deck city.
Really
Interesting.
clean plays from Jim. It's surviving at 1. Again, there is a lot of direct damage from Amy, but
Yeah.
getting a little bit of life here with the Graveyard Trespasser.
Only
and-
1, though. Oof.
Yeah, only 1. If he gets
Get
a
that
flip,
squee. Get that squee. Yum, yum, yum.
if he gets a flip, then you know, it'll be able to gain some more life.
Wait,
but
this could be really cute.
Oh!
Zan,
Wow.
that
Is
is
that
not
it?
quite
No,
enough.
that's not enough. Yeah, we don't have enough to activate the foundry.
So the Soken Zan is a land, but it can also be used to make 2 1/1s for 4
Yeah.
mana with haste.
They can gain
Oh my
2 life
goodness,
this
just
turn
shy of a
either
win
way.
here is Amy the Amazonian. Is this the point in the matchup where Jim Davis pulls it back? It's nighttime now. This glutton attacks. That is 2 life by eating the creatures in the bin. And being able to rip apart the hand of Amy with Liliana of the Veil.
It's interesting. I would like to see Jim activate this Restless Cottage on
Yeah.
board, because if the Restless Cottage attacks, it's able to make a food, which
Yeah.
will put him out of range of a lot of cards in the format. So,
He's fixing his auto-triggered abilities, like we mentioned earlier. Sometimes the game has some silly suggestions. All right, let's go. Restless Cottage time. Makes a food. He has 2 life, or excuse me, 2 mana available to sacrifice it. That's another 3 life. So he's effectively at 5 right now. And then getting rid of 2 more creatures in the graveyard. That's another 2. So he's back to 7.
and I think 7 is a very, very healthy life total
Oh,
in
yeah.
this spot. Lightning Strike deals 3 to face, Play with Fire deals 2 to face. So
Yeah.
these cards together with the Mishra's Foundry on Amy's side is just not going to be enough.
Got the food.
No. Unbelievable stuff here. He found what he needed at the right time. This Liliana just keeping those creatures in control, in check. 8 points of damage. Amy's down to 9. This game has flipped on its head. And like I mentioned earlier, if your opponent was on 1 and they start swinging, you know that the tides have turned.
I mean,
All right, but Amy does have a surprise 2 damage in hand with the Soken Zan.
monstrous rage.
So,
Probably would have raged.
2 damage
that,
together
2,
with the
3,
Mishra's
4?
Foundry, that's 4.
Needs
and
a lightning
if she
strike
does
off
a
the top.
lightning strike, yeah, she
That
has
could be
exact
GG.
mana. She has exact mana for everything.
Yeah, I think, well, in response, Liliana would just... I mean, she can channel in response to Liliana's ability, so
Exactly.
yeah.
So,
So, surprise!
I would like to see Liliana first from Jim, but Soken Zan coming down, so Jim, I think, getting kind of aware that he does die to a lightning strike off the top
Ooh,
here.
all right, lightning strike off the top. If you believe, now is the time. Does Amy have it? Does she have enough mana to activate? She sure does. It's Monastery Swift Spear.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
That's not gonna do it, I believe.
She needs to leave something back to block.
Yeah, she has to leave something back to block, so the game's not quite over yet. Liliana, I believe that the Liliana has to be respected, doesn't it, or does it not?
I mean, it's fine for now because we could just sacrifice the Monastery Swift Spear from Amy's side of things. From
Okay.
Jim's side, he's also hell-bent. He's on a hope and a prayer right now that there's no lightning strike off the top. So 2, 3, 4 damage in. He's down to 3. Another attack with a glutton takes Amy down. I mean, yeah. Skitter,
I mean, it's an
okay.
interesting spot now because once again, Jim can just do the same play once again to just activate the Restless Cottage,
Yeah.
attack, get a food token. But
That's a
I'm
lot
not
of damage
sure
coming
how
in.
the math. Yeah, I'm not sure how the math lines up here.
So Amy would go down to 5 with a block on one of these 4 drops. Take 4, take 2 if there's any creatures left in the bin from the glutton.
And now, second tap.
So
right.
forcing the sacrifice there, likely just going to be one of the spirits, as the Swift Spear does have prowess, so if there is a spell, that's extra damage coming through. Does Jim go for the Skitter, or are we going for the Cottage to get that life? Does he stay alive if he does that?
Very interesting for sure. The Lord Skitter does make a 1/1, however, the 1/1 cannot block. So Jim's going to opt to go for the life gain
Yeah.
line once again. Let's see if
Yeah.
he attacks with both creatures.
Yeah, if Amy doesn't block these critters, she will die. So
Yep,
one
so it's a
creature
force block
chowed.
here.
Does he have a creature in his bin? Yep, there's another Graveyard Trespasser, so 2. 2 munches there. Num num.
Wow, this Graveyard Glutton has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a great card. It's a really, really good Magic card.
It just does so much for so little. You
Yeah.
you just play it and then it just destroys everything.
So
Rips
Jim's
everything
still
apart.
sitting okay at 8. What does Amy
Is lightning
find?
strike
If it's a lightning strike, it's a mountain. That's going to be good game.
Oh.
Amy's saying GG, but she's going to go out swinging, in with the Foundry, in with the Monastery Swift Spear. Just go kill Liliana for the sake of it. Yeah, there you go. Get her. Get her. Get that pesky Planeswalker.
Because she's mean.
I guess she's technically not dead. She is dead to the Restless Cottage.
Yeah, no, she's quite dead at this point. To the Restless Cottage. These creature lands coming in clutch here for Jim Davis. Picking up the win here against Amy the Amazonian, and that is your Twitch Rivals champion. A well-deserved one at that. Congratulations to Jim Davis and his partner Pig. You guys done did it. Let's get through all these triggered abilities and swing in for the lethal.
Amazing, amazing finals. There's a chance there. With some luck, Amy could have taken the win. Really, really close match, and
that was incredibly
a very fitting
close.
match.
Woo!
For the
Good
finals.
job, Jim. Woohoo!
Let's go!
All the way.
All the way. There you have it. Even though Amy was pugnacious to get on the board and go all out against Jim Davis, it was Jim Davis with the clutch attitude to come back down 2-19 to be crowned the Twitch Rivals champion for MTG Arena. We are going to head on over to a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about our giveaways, our raid launcher, and a whole lot more. We'll catch you guys on the other side for more MTG Arena action. Welcome back to Twitch Rivals, where the chat might be 0 for 2 when it comes to the Maze chat game, but it was Jim Davis who was 1 for 1 for being the outright champion today. Welcome back to the stream. Me, it's your boy Veli. We got Alias V and also Deathsy. By the way, I'm going to give a big shout out to Samsung for their Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 for sponsoring this event today. It's been incredible. But speaking about this event being incredible, Alias, let's talk about it. I don't know if you can see the future or not. You were able to accurately predict everything today, and including the winner. That was absolutely insane. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I can't win tournaments myself, so at least I can pick the winners right, I guess. So that's pretty awesome.
There we go. And speaking of which, the champion was the man, the myth, the legend. You all know his name. You like him. We love him. The one and only Jim Davis coming out on top and popping off, and his teammate X5, Pig, Deathsy. This was just a masterclass. He almost didn't make it this far, which is pretty insane.
It was pretty insane, but you know, Jim has had his back against the wall many times in the past before, and you know, he knows what to do. He absolutely knows what to do. And it seems like his companion Pig doing an excellent job as well.
Right, and by the way, once again, Alias was also right. She's never wrong. Team Caleb is going to go ahead and run away with the big dub. Shout out to Jorbs as well. By the way, Caleb's Abby is actually pretty sick. I love the artwork for that. It's pretty nice. But hey, congratulations all around. A lot of money going down, and hey, well deserved. So,
congratulations to all the players. Amazing games, and especially in a very short amount of time, having to pick up those decks. Even experienced Magic Gathering players, you know, like you have to learn decks and stuff. So, you know, in a very short amount of time, they play these decks very well.
Right. Alias, I have a question. For some of these newer players, jumping off what Deathsy just spoke about, it must have been really nerve-wracking to learn a game such as Magic the Gathering and then come here and compete for a $10,000 prize pool.
Yeah. Like I said, it's being thrown in the deep end. So kudos to them for stepping up to the challenge and, you know, putting on an excellent show for everyone. It's been great to see.
Speaking of which, let's go ahead and thank them ourselves. We have an interview with the champion winning team, of course. Let's get Jim Davis on screen. Production, let's go ahead and get it underway. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I believe it's my second time talking to Jim as well. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, the guy just come here and just wins everything that has to do with trading card games. Jim Davis and Pig, congratulations. I love the green screens behind you all. But first things first, Pig, this question is for you. How did you love coming into this event, quickly learning Magic the Gathering, and winning with such a dominant teammate such as Jim Davis?
You know, it was all me. You know, it was all my skill. Luckily, I was very nothing like basically just playing dinosaurs and just rolling down a flight of steps and letting the weight of the dinosaurs carry you. It was fantastic.
There you go. I watched your guys' preparation. I got to watch a little bit of on YouTube, and you said that you like playing games that make you angry. Were you angry?
I was actually pretty chilled today, you know? The luck was on my side, and something I got told when I first started playing Magic was better lucky than good, and that is true to my heart.
Yeah.
Jim, I want a breakdown of what your guys' strategy was going into the tournament. How did you guys navigate through the deck selection and win the championship?
Strategy? What's that? I found this guy on the street and we just like, oh, let's play a tournament together. This is cool. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's good. I think the aggro decks worked out really well. Dinosaurs served Pig really well. You know, I think it's a bit of like, okay, only so much prep time, only so much experience. What can we do there? And then the fun part, I think, for me is obviously the pro bracket where like we know, we kind of know each other, know what we kind of like. I think it was really cool that we had all 10 decks preset because it kind of removes the deck building part. It's like, hey, here are the decks, pick one. And now it's like, okay, well, I know that I feel like I got metagame really hard in the round robin round where I'm like, Kip was gonna play creatures for sure. Played the mono blue deck against my control deck, and then it's like every round I was like, oh man, I'm getting leveled. But I don't know, it worked out. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. Played a bunch of different decks. It was great.
That was awesome, Jim. By the way, shout out to you. 2 to 19-point comeback. That was. I would have crumbled under pressure like that, but you cooled it in the other side. Right, you did it twice. You're cooler than the other side of the pillow, baby. So I'm gonna set the floor up to both of you right now. You could thank the viewers, the fans, family, special friends. You all have it.
Gonna start big.
Oh, I mean, just thanks for having me, guys. This was an absolute pleasure. It's awesome. Getting to hop on and compete when something's on the line and, you know, have Lady Luck fall on our side a little bit. I was just like, my goal today was let's not embarrass Jim too much. I was like, this man has made the worst decision by picking me. He's handicapped himself, but maybe that's just extreme confidence. But I got lucky. Hey, the cards went down in my favor. He coached me really well just 2 days ago. We had that session, that video that he put up. And I feel like I've absorbed more Magic and played more in the last 2 days preparing for this than I basically have previously in the last 5 years. So it's been awesome, and I had a lot of fun.
Pig MVP.
Yeah, it's
Jim,
really
what
fun.
you
That coaching thing we did was like, hey, as someone who plays Magic literally all the time and playing forever, you like forget a lot of the things. Magic's a really confusing, hard game, you know, and the things I kind of take for granted when we're just, you know, oh yeah, sequencing and oh this and that. Like, oh yeah, this is kind of like a lot to take in at once. So Pig was great. 2.5 hours. He's like, I'll give you an hour or two. We were there for 2.5 hours. I was like, all right, now we got to do this and sequence that. And he was great. It was super cool. Big ups to my family, of course. I coached my son's hockey team, and I missed his game today. But they won 3-1 without me. So
It was
that's
worth
That's
it.
good to hear also.
Nice.
And,
You won
yeah,
and they won.
thanks to y'all for having these. These events are so awesome. And it's fun to be on the you know, the I guess the carry head side of things where I played the rivals for Marvel Snap. And Jeff Hogan just carried me twice really, really hard. So it's fun being on both sides. These events are super, super fun. Thanks for having me, and y'all are great. And Pig, thank you for coming on. You were awesome. You killed it.
Yo, you guys
Bravo.
are awesome as well. Thank you so much. Hey, enjoy your money, enjoy your funny, your bragging rights, and enjoy the rest of your day. You all have a good one.
Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot.
No problem. All right, so welcoming you guys back to the desk. Alias, I gotta say, Pig is the man. I love that. He just went in here and said, I'm gonna have
So
fun.
good.
Let's just go.
It's all my fault. I won it. I love that.
I love their attitude for sure. And you know what?
Yeah.
It turns out winning is just in Jim's blood. You know, like his whole
Yeah.
family wins. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. Great to see Pig picking up the game and doing an excellent job. You
Hopefully
know,
he'll keep playing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
just
once you get hooked,
absolute great
you know,
showing
keep
from the
coming
both
back.
of them.
Right, but there was also a lot more dominance in another award that we do actually need to give out. And courtesy of Samsung, let's go ahead and lay it on them and check it out. Let's see who's dashing through the snow in the race to become the special holiday edition of our GeForce Ultra Player presented by Samsung Galaxy. Excuse me. Today's winner will have shown the most battery or power in game. Here are the nominees. You have Jorbs, who was absolutely lights out today for what we've seen. Lord Aethel, who was dominant. By the way, one of my favorite newcomer players in this whole bracket, by the way. And last but not least, it will be, let's see, drum roll, Jim Davis, the one and only. The man is holding a trophy, but you know what? Let's see who is going to pull out the win for that. So, chat, who's it going to be? Jump in the poll in the extension and select your winner for today's GeForce Ultra Player. And while you're doing that, drop the hashtag GeForce Ultra Player in the chat for a chance to win subs you can use on your favorite GeForce Ultra Player. Once again, make sure you type hashtag GeForce Ultra Player in the chat for a chance to win subs you can give away to your favorite GeForce Ultra Player. All right, let's go ahead and see who is going to come out on top. Alias Dempsey, any idea who you guys think are going to win it all?
I'm going for Jim. Drum roll. We need a drum roll.
Drum roll. Can we get a drum roll?
I personally am going for Lord Aethel. I believe that he did a fantastic job today. He was picking up the game so good and just killing it. Absolutely killing it. He did a great job today.
Well, the votes are currently in, and today's special holiday GeForce Ultra Player is Jim Davis. Let's go. Thanks to everybody in the chat for participating and showing up today. Honestly, we all had a blast. Samsung Galaxy will drop those gifted subs right now in Jim Davis MTG's channel. So make sure you get there ASAP. Open up another tab right now, okay? And today's GeForce Player was powered by the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. Let's go ahead and bring the commentators back. And with Jim Davis just dominating everything on board today, today has been great. Alias, if you were to basically sum up your experience with Twitch Rivals, what would it be?
Oh man, it's been awesome. These events are always so well received, and you know the players love it. So I really hope that we'll see more of this, because it's just a great, different way to enjoy Magic the Gathering and get new players in. So yeah, more please.
This tournament was both sweaty and laid back. I love it. You don't see that often in
it's
esports,
chill.
right?
True.
Desi, you have, by the way, the best earrings I've ever seen on Twitch Rivals. How would you explain or describe the type of day you had with this today? It was a blast.
Absolutely fantastic. You know, I love Magic the Gathering, and what I love more than playing Magic the Gathering is actually talking about Magic the Gathering. So big shout out to all of our sponsors, big shout out to Twitch Rivals and the viewers for having me on here today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to commentate more somewhere, someday.
It's just like hanging out, hey, Detsy?
And also, for those of you that are tuning into the stream now, make sure you head on over to Daily MTG to check out the Timeless Arena for MTG Arena. It was announced earlier today, and I believe it was the first time it has ever been announced. So you can find the details.
You had the honors.
Oh, excuse me?
You had the honors.
Well, the honor was mine. I would have to say the Magic the Gathering community has been definitely one of my favorites. You all have been so welcoming. In the chat, I saw a lot of people say, "Is that Alias? Let's go!" And I came here for Detsy, of course. I possibly had one person that checked on me, but not as big as you all. But you're
amazing.
Thank you. As we do wrap up the show, though, we do have a new feature. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before. Have you heard of the Raid Launcher?
Are we gonna go and dump some hype and love on someone?
Oh, we're gonna show a lot of love. We're gonna show a lot of love.
Haven't heard of it.
All right, well, you're gonna hear about it right now, because as we wrap up the show, it's time of our new version of our Twitch Rivals Raid. We're raising the stakes and unveiling the Raid Launcher. So as the graphic comes up on your screen, you're gonna absolutely love it. The launcher will choose one streamer that's currently streaming right now from all of our contestants today. And once we have a winner, we'll launch all of you plus 25 gifted subs to that creator stream. And listen, we just go and have a good time. So whenever you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get the Raid Launcher on the screen. And I would say, for my last thoughts, for those of you that have not deep dived in the MTG Arena yet, make sure you guys jump in.
Yeah, it's fun. I feel like we're about to get hit with t-shirt cannons. Let's go.
It's amazing, man. You guys want to check out drafting? It's the best way to play Magic. Caleb!
Let's go.
Desi, Alias, any last words you all have to say? The timer's on you.
Come play Magic, it's great.
Desi.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me. And Magic the Gathering, it's a lifelong game. You'll love it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hopefully I'll gain lifelong friends with every single one of you. Detsy and Alias V, you two have been phenomenal. I'm going to give a lot of love to our sponsors out there, especially Samsung. Y'all have been awesome. To the MTG fam, I want to say spread love, take care, and we'll catch you next time here at Twitch Rivals. Take care.